Throughout this past year here on Smokin Silicon, we have purchased way too many awful PCs from Walmart, Amazon, and especially TikTok. Well, in this video, we'll go through the top 10 sketchiest PCs of 2025, and make sure to let me know down in the comments which one you think deserves our coveted Worst PC of the Year award. Number 10.
I bought a fancy looking $300 gaming PC from TikTok, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and try to figure out why it was so cheap. Now, I've gotten some weird stuff from TikTok in the past, like a mini PC with a touchscreen built in, or a phone that looks like this, but a $300 gaming PC? I'm suspicious. Let's check it out. So it appears the PC is from a company called Gofolk. Never heard of them, and also you gotta love the tagline, great features start here. Okay, let's open it up and see what's inside. All right, so right on top we have our power cable. We've got a little user manual here. We've got our Wi-Fi antennas. We should have our PC, which we'll dump out. All right, finally got it out, and oh my goodness, this thing is white. Wow, at first glance, it actually looks pretty similar to the photos. I'm still not quite sure how this thing was so cheap. Oh my gosh, that's a tiny motherboard. This is such a weird thing to look at. What is going on? But I mean, the elephant in the room, yeah, this thing has two full sides of glass. Well, I guess it's probably more like plexiglass. As you can see there, I mean, it's kind of sick. There's not a whole lot to look at in there because you can just see there's just not much in there, which we'll talk about here in just a second. And then flipping to the other side here, it's just white with some ventilation down here. Then a little Gofolk PC sticker down here with some details. And then flipping to the back, we got the power supply at the bottom of the PC. Also got some PCI slots right there. I got just our motherboard ports right here. We've got two antennas. And then also on the top, we have one of the nice little magnetic pieces that helps with dust. So that's kind of cool. And guys, while we're talking about this case, I want to mention that I'm very curious where they got this case from. I don't know if Gofolk makes it themselves or if they bought it from another company. But when you look up this type of PC case, you know, full white with two glass panels here, the cheapest ones you can find are like $100, and even this Corsair one right here on Amazon is going for $130, and you can see it looks very similar. It's not quite the same thing, but about the same. So like if 100 out of the $300 of this PC were taken up from the case, how cheap are the components inside? But let's go ahead and take a look at what's in here through the glass case and kind of get an idea of what we're getting ourselves into. Now, looking at the inside, the first thing I noticed, you guys probably can't tell from the angle, but I'll show you on my phone here. The first thing I noticed is how many fans are in this case. So first of all, we have one on the CPU cooler, we have one in the back, we have two on the top, we have two fans on the side, and there's even another fan on the bottom, and I'm sure there's probably a fan built into the power supply as well. And what's even more interesting, if you take a closer look at these fans, just take a gander at these. What do you notice about all of these fans? And I'm sure you're getting it by now. All of these fans are blowing outwards. At least that's how the fins face. So typically on a PC, you would want maybe your top fans and side fans or some combination of those to be pulling air into the PC. So like it comes in through the side, comes in through the top, and then takes all that air and pushes it out the back, maybe out the bottom as well. You know, there's a bunch of different ways you can do it, but right now, the air is just pushing outwards. There's no air coming in. It's just pushing air out everywhere. So yeah, that's not ideal. And guys, another strange thing here is the size of the motherboard. It's not just the fact that it's small, it's a weird shape, and I can't figure out what type of motherboard it is. Let me just show you the dimensions. So obviously this is not quite exact because I'm outside of the case here, but in terms of width, it appears to be just under 7 inches, and then length is about 9 inches. And when I looked that up, it's close to a Flex ATX motherboard size, but not quite. It's not quite that wide. And there's also some other strange things going on here, which we'll make note of later. But that leads me into another point. Before we plug this thing in, there's one more thing I want to show you guys. Where do you guys see a GPU in here? Because I sure don't. So you look at the listing and it's all fine and dandy, right? You're scrolling through and it's like, oh yeah, it looks like a cool gaming PC. It's gonna have a nice CPU, a GPU, and whatever. I can play my games. I can play Call of Duty. And then you get to the very last picture on the slide here, and it finally gives you a few specs. Mainly, let me point you to the bottom corner of the photo here where it says, note, this computer does not come with a graphics card. You need to purchase it separately. And I won't even dive into the other specs of the PC yet. We'll get into those when we turn this thing on, but I'm hoping there are graphics built into the CPU because like otherwise can't use it unless you put a graphics card in. Guys, let's go ahead and finally plug this thing in and just see what it can do. Okay, so this is weird. I just plugged in my antenna and I'm not used to my antenna like wiggling around this much. Like guys, look at this. The entire back piece is flexing when I touch the antenna. Like what? I've never seen that before. Let me take a look at the inside here. Oh, yo, that's why. Okay, so it looks like we have a network card down there in one of our M.2 slots. Yeah, it says Wi-Fi up there, as you can see. And we have a couple antenna wires that just kind of route up there to the top. We'll take a closer look at that when we tear this thing down, but it looks like it just basically routes to the back of the PC, and it's not actually planted solidly anywhere. It's just kind of wiggling around. Not a huge deal, but just another weird thing here. And guys, let's turn this thing on and see what it does. So 3, 2, 1. Hello? Okay, well, not getting any power, and I've swapped cables. And when you look at the back here, you can see our power switch is the right way. Let me try the other way, just in case. And none of these buttons do anything. You've got to be kidding me. Well, I guess it's time to take the back cover off here and see if this thing is even plugged in on the back side, and I don't know, man. All right, guys, so unfortunately no dice yet. I've tried a bunch of different things, like little troubleshooting things, as well as swapping the entire power supply. That did nothing either. I'm not gonna take everything apart because for obvious reasons, I wanna just return this thing and get my money back. But I wanna show you one more thing on this PC that's really sketch. All right, so looking at the inside here, you can see our RAM sticks, which I did try to swap the RAM sticks and just different slots went to boot it up, and that didn't do anything. But you can see there on the left side, that piece is like melted or something down there, as well as that piece. So like that's sketchy on a new computer. Also, one other thing I noticed, I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this, but on the CPU fan right there's some like putty or something holding in the fan, like the clip is broken. What? How? On a new PC? What is going on, guys? This is super sketch. So guys, I'm back and I have a solution. So I basically, as you can see, just bought a new PC. It's exactly the same as the last one, but apparently this one has beefier specs and it costs $100 more. So we'll of course plug this one in, see if it works, but there's a few things I already noticed here that are super sketch again. Let me show you. So actually first, let's start with the one good thing, which is these network antennas don't flop around like the last one because there's an actual network card in there, which is kind of cool and how it should be. But the first thing I noticed here is that our heatsink on our CPU is completely crooked. Like, look how crooked that is. Like, what? That can't bode well for how this thing works, right? And then also we have the same number of fans here, and they are again all pointing outwards. So there's no intake fan. There's just all outtake fans, which is, yeah, interesting strategy. And I'm sure there's some other sketchy stuff here, but guys, let's go ahead and plug this one in and see if it'll turn on. I really hope so. All right, we're plugged in. We'll flip the power switch on. Let's go ahead and press the power button, and oh, hallelujah. Thank you. It turned on. Oh man, that's all right. Let's see what happens now. And oh wow, Windows is already set up. That's a bad sign. All right, let's mess around a little bit. Yeah, so we're already signed in with an admin local account. Yeah, it looks like they just made an account and set it up, which is again pretty sketchy. So hopefully there's not any weird software on this thing already. Let me hop into the programs and just scroll through real quick and see if I see anything suspicious that shows up here. And no, it just looks like normal Windows stuff. But let's go ahead and check out our specs next, because I'm really curious what is actually inside this PC. So guys, starting with the motherboard here, it looks like we have a system manufacturer of Maxsun, which I've never heard of, and the model is an MS Challenger B450M. Let me look that up. Oh, it's a motherboard you can find on AliExpress. That tells me all I need to know here. You can buy it for 60 to 70 bucks on AliExpress and eBay. And then our processor here is an AMD Ryzen 7 5700G with Radeon graphics built in. So same with the last one. This one does not have a GPU built in. It's just graphics built into the processor. We've also got 32 gigs of RAM, and let's see how much storage we have on the SSD here. Should have a terabyte, and yep, that matches up. Okay, so far so good. It matches up with what the listing said, at least. But guys, next up I want to do an internet speed test to see what kind of speeds we're getting. And yeah, we're getting close to a gig down, which is what we should get on my network. Let's check the upload next. And yep, that looks about right as well, so that's good to see. And I will say I'm not really doing much right now, but the fans are pretty loud. They're not like horribly loud, but I mean, they're louder than they should be on the desktop here, and it's probably because they're all blasting outwards. There's no intake fan, but you know. But anyways, guys, next up we'll run a Cinebench test, and then we'll do some Steam games and just see how this thing can game. So let's run this test first here. Oh no. I left the room for a minute, just letting Cinebench run, and it froze. I mean, I can't imagine this airflow is helping, it's not good. Okay, finally it unfroze here, and the multi-score is at 10,778. And by the way, I'm not an expert on Cinebench, but I have all my other background apps closed, and I have Cinebench set to real-time priority. And just looking at a comparison, it looks like usually this CPU runs about 14,000 in terms of score, so I imagine this is limited because of the poor cooling inside of this PC. Maybe some other factors as well. You can let me know down below if I'm missing something, but let's go ahead and try to download some games off of Steam now, play around and just see how things run. So I have the Ghost Runner demo booted up here, and we have it set to 4K, and I pretty much put all the highest settings I possibly could here. So let's go ahead and just run this and see what happens here. And I guess I'd say, unsurprisingly, we're running at a solid 5 frames per second now. So let me go back and change those settings and see if we can find something reasonable. All right, so I dropped this down to 1080p and changed all the settings to high instead of epic, except for textures are still at epic because I noticed that makes a pretty big difference in this game. And you can see it's totally reasonable. We're at 30 frames per second, just running around, spinning around, and all the graphics look totally fine. Of course, the frame rate will go up and down depending on what scene we're in, but I don't know, I feel like this is totally reasonable for a $400 TikTok PC that I didn't think would play games at all, especially without a discrete GPU. But guys, let's go ahead and do what I'm most excited for. I want to tear this PC down and take a closer look at the inside and see what's actually going on inside, because there's a lot of sketchy looking stuff. And actually, guys, before we take this PC apart and take a look at the insides, I want want to show you this. There's a button here for lights, and you can see it actually cycles through a bunch of different lights here, or different colors, excuse me. Eventually you can turn it off, and then as you press it here, it's actually got a lot of modes. You can see our rainbow mode. You can see this mode right here, which I don't know, it's just kind of bouncing back and forth, but it's pretty neat. Also got some more rainbow modes. This one right here is my favorite. It's kind of like, it just like stacks up in the lights. I mean, you probably don't want that on while you're playing games, but it's kind of sick that we have a lot of different light modes here. So the glass piece on top comes off pretty easily, which is, you know, pretty basic PC functionality. And the first thing you notice here is really just our CPU cooler that is, again, very bent. And I don't know what happened here, but you can see there's even some dents here on the side of the heatsink, and it kind of wiggles around when you move it around. So I don't know if they just like didn't tighten it down all the way or what. It's kind of sketch, like in a brand new PC, like why? Got our two 16 gig sticks of RAM, got our SSD, or M.2 SSD down there, got our network card in the 1X slot, and then we got a 16X slot down here for PCIe 3.0, so you can stick a decent GPU in there, which is cool. And I'm thinking part of the issue here is it's probably just a super cheap CPU cooler, and I should mention the whole price situation here because, you know, I really don't think the price of this thing is all too horrible. I mean, I paid about $400 for it, and the CPU is worth about $150. The motherboard's about $60 or $70. Let's say another $100 in terms of the RAM, the SSD, the network card, and the CPU cooler, and then maybe $50 to $100 for the PC case. So that comes out close to $400, which I'd say is fairly reasonable for a pre-built PC. Now, of course, the quality control here is crap, and it came from TikTok, so those are two huge downsides, but I'd say in terms of pure parts, not bad. And despite this specific PC being decent, the other one, of course, was dead on arrival. So guys, just like, don't buy this. Absolute garbage. But guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.
Number 9.
I bought the smallest PC I've ever seen from TikTok Shop, and in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see if it, well, even works. And man, we've seen some sketchy PCs in this channel. You know, anything from a small touchscreen PC to this spaceship PC, but you know, anything from TikTok Shop is immediately 10 times sketchier, so let's see what we got. I mean, you know this thing is small when this is the whole PC box. All right, so inside the box here we've got, oh, there's no way. Hold on, is this seriously our PC? There's no shot. We'll take a closer look at that here in a second. Let's see what else is in this box. It's absurdly small. We have a, dude, our power brick is larger than, it's larger than the PC. This is like smaller than the Pico Raspberry Pi or whatever they call it. This thing is absolutely tiny. Holy crap. Let's take a closer look, I guess, at this PC and see what it looks like. So again, on the front it says Scardu, something like that. We got a power button here. We have what I assume is an exhaust fan here. Hopefully it turns on and works because the last PC I bought from TikTok, the fan did not work. So that was not good. We also have a little peely thing that I'll go ahead and take off. And then flipping to the side, we've got an auxiliary jack. We have a SD card slot. Flipping to the back, we have an HDMI port, a USB-C port. Then on the bottom, the product name is Mini PC. But I had no idea. Then it also looks like there's two screw holes here in the bottom that I guess you can maybe wall mount this thing, which for something I'm not quite sure what. But yeah, let me go ahead and pull out some more items for comparison because this thing, it's absurdly small and I just got to convey it to you. Okay, so we have a lot of comparison points here. First, I'll compare it to a PS5 controller, and you can see this thing is probably about a third of the size of a PS5 controller, which is absurd. Next up, we have a Pokemon card. The Pokemon card is literally like, yeah, I mean, just no words. Look how much larger the Pokemon card is than the PC itself. We've also got this other mini PC that we got from TEMU a while back, and I thought this thing was small, but holy crap, I mean, there's no size comparison here. This thing is so much larger compared to this tiny little thing. And next up, we have a Switch Lite, which is a pretty small console in the first place, but yeah, it's absurdly large compared to this thing. And last but not least, we have this massive handheld portable PS2 console from AliExpress, and this thing is a behemoth, but yeah, the PC just like, I don't know. No words, man. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in, though, and see what it can do. See if it works. Now, guys, PC's plugged in, and a couple more things I want to show you. So first of all, I want to give you an actual sizing of this thing. So it's literally less than 2.5 inches wide, and in depth is like 1.5 inches. And then the thing is so small and lightweight that my HDMI cord is literally flipping it over. Like, it can't stand on its own. It's just falling over. That's just hilarious. But let's go ahead and press the power button, see if it'll turn on. Okay, it looks like there's, oh yeah, there's a little blue light there. Okay, so it should be on now. It's making a really weird clicking noise. Listen to this. And it's just not displaying anything, so that's a problem. Okay, turn the PC back on, blue light is on, the fan appears to be running now, you can hear it here. And okay, it's booting up. We got, let's start with the region. Is this right? Yes, it is. So now I got to do a network, and I actually just realized there's no hardline connection here, which I guess is not surprising on this tiny device, but it does support 5 gig Wi-Fi, which is actually a little bit surprising. So while this thing is setting itself up, wait, hold on. Yo, we're on Windows 10? What? Okay, so I got something else to show you here, which I'll show you in just a second, but yeah, Windows 10, that didn't quite expect that, but all right. Oh, we're eligible for a free upgrade to Windows 11. Decline. But anyways, I just noticed it came with this little card inside. It says best wishes. Hope, happiness, and smiles will always be with you. Even came with these little gold stickers, which is interesting, and a blank piece of paper. Nice. Now guys, finally booted up, and of course I want to start with the specs and see what's actually inside of this PC. And also, when I booted this thing up and started moving a window around, I noticed the window is really slow. It's actually a little bit better than it was earlier, but just I don't know, an observation, not the best sign when you first boot up a PC that it's just the frame rate's low, so something to keep an eye on. But you can see here we have our processor. It's an Intel Celeron J4125 CPU clocked at 2 gigahertz, and I looked that up here, and it looks like it came out in 2019 and has been discontinued, so not a new CPU in any stretch of the imagination here. We'll see how it performs for gaming. I can't imagine it's going to be very good. Of course, it's got built-in graphics because, you know, you don't have a discrete GPU inside of this little tiny thing. Also got 8 gigs of RAM, which I'd say is expected here. And Windows 10 was installed on 5/15/2025. That's when I'm filming this thing. Is that typical for when I set it up? That's when it says it's installed? That seems wrong, but all right. And let's check out the storage here and see how much space we have in this thing. So we have a Share VDI 256 gig SSD. Never heard of Share VDI, but 256 is fine for this thing. I wonder if it's replaceable or if you can put a new M.2 in here, or what exactly is inside. We'll find out later when we open this thing up. But let's go ahead and close these things out, download some programs, run some tests, play some games, and see how this thing performs doing frankly anything. And I actually first want to run a speed test on this thing to see what kind of speeds it's pulling. We should be getting yeah, 200 is not bad. Okay, so we're getting 210 down, 263 up, which I say is not bad for a little PC like this. I usually get like 350, 400 down and up over Wi-Fi in the same exact spot, but I'd say that's fine. The next test I wanted to do is just opening some tabs up and see how it handles, you know, 5 or 10 tabs, and so far not great. You can see, like, if I just type here Walmart, it's just it's lagging by a few seconds, which is not terribly surprising, but also a pain in the butt if you're actually using this on a daily basis to search the web or anything like that. But let's go ahead and I'll keep scrolling around, see how it feels. I mean, you can see with about, I don't know, 12 tabs opened up doing basically nothing, and then I have YouTube opened up. You can see the frame rate is really struggling to just play this one YouTube video. And as I'm scrolling through, it's like, it's struggling to go up and down, loading the comments. It's like, it's usable, but I would hate to use this thing on a daily basis for watching YouTube at this rate. But anyways, you've seen the average browsing experience. Next up, I'm going to download Cinebench and try to run a benchmark and see how that performs, if I can even search for it. I mean, look, look how slow it is just typing stuff in. What? Okay, so it gave me this pop-up. It looks like it's from Windows 98 that says update your browser to view apps, games, and more. Is this seriously the pop-up? All right, guys, Cinebench installed. We're going to set it to real-time priority to basically give it the best chance, I guess, of doing well. We're get everything else closed, so let's go ahead and run this bad boy multi-core and see what it can do. All right, guys, so I'm back like 5 minutes later, and I just looked at the test, and it's still at 9:52. If you don't know, this thing starts at 10 minutes and counts down to 0, and it got paused 8 seconds, and the entire PC is just frozen. Hold on. Can I Control-Alt-Delete? Nope, I can't do anything. I mean, the PC is still on. There's still a fan running. Oh, it's blazing hot, though. Okay. Well, I feel like that tells us what we need to know. It can't even run the Cinebench test. So, yeah, let's go ahead and, I guess, just boot this or power this thing off. We'll try to run some games, I guess. Okay, and it's turning back on now, but there's just no output, which... Dude, what is wrong with this thing, man? Hold on. Okay, guys. So, basically, the PC froze. I turned it off. Turn it back on again, turn it off, turn it back on. Basically, I turned it off and on like 5 times because it would not boot, and now it's telling me this. This thing might be corrupted. You gotta be kidding me. Okay, I got to the screen one other time, and it just disappeared after I typed one thing, so please work this time. Come on. Oh, baby, we're back in. Finally, man, that was scary. All right, let's go ahead and boot up Steam, download some games. We'll test them out. Hopefully it doesn't crash again. All right, guys, got some games downloaded. We're gonna start with the Ghost Runner demo here and see how that runs. So let's go ahead and boot it up. All right, so booted up, and in the settings, it looks like I'd already selected everything for me, and by selected, I mean turned everything either off or to low, and set the resolution to 720p, so I guess we'll just run with this and see how it looks when we try to play. Holy crap, yeah, we're getting 6 frames per second based on those settings. This is horrible. Okay, so I scaled the resolution down a lot, and you can see it's actually playing and running a little bit now, but it's still only at 20 frames per second, and it looks like this. That's great. But anyways, you can see it's unplayable. Let's go back though and play another game that I think this thing should be able to run. I hope so. Let's try it out. Okay, we're gonna play Backyard Soccer 98, which is from 1998. If it can't run this game, it can't run anything. So let's give it a go. So yeah, just playing around. It's running as it normally does. If you've ever played this game, you know it's personally a staple of my childhood, but it's running fine, so that's good. This thing can run something. I don't know why you'd buy this PC to play backyard sports, but you could. All right, guys, I think we have seen what this thing can do. Not very much, but let's go ahead and turn this thing off, tear it down, and see what the inside looks like, because it can't be good, right? All right, so dude, what in the world? I took the first rubber foot off. There's a warranty seal, but it's already broken. I've never opened this thing up before. So basically they broke it before they sent it to me, which is awesome. Actually, there's a warranty seal on all of them and they're all broken. What? Wait, hold on. So this PC is straight up used because I don't know if you can tell. We'll do a super zoom on this screw here, but you can see it's definitely being stripped a little bit. So the thing's definitely been opened since it came from the factory, which is just awesome. I was sold a used PC. Cool. But all right, bottom pops off and we've got our M.2 SSD right there. Again, it is by Share VDI is the name of this company. Share VDI. I mean, I guess that's weird, but anyways, yeah, there's a Share VDI M.2 in there. And the rest of this thing is trying to come apart. Let's see if it'll, oh, yep, there it goes, and something just fell out. We basically got this little aluminum outer shell here, which is, I don't know, kind of high quality, I'd say, for a $100 PC. And you got these standoffs in here that kind of separate two different boards. So we've got, of course, all our ports here on the side. And I think actually to get down there, I'm gonna have to use a wrench to get these things off. Got those standoffs there, and yeah, sure enough, it just kind of comes apart. I got two ribbon cables connecting the two sides. Then we've got our tiny little Intel processor down there in the corner, and then all the other components are just integrated into the board, which is not all that surprising. Now, obviously, most of this is not upgradable, but I guess the good news is you could take the M.2 SSD out and put a larger one in. Now, to be honest, I'm not sure why you need a larger one because like it can barely do much anyways. So like how much stuff are you gonna store in this PC? But guys, let me know what you think about this thing. And if you wanna buy it, I'll put a link down below to my store where I'll probably sell it for a deep discount. So go check it out. See you guys next time.
Number 8. Here in the year of 2025, there is one thing every gaming PC needs more of: RGB. And as it turns out, thanks to the magic of TikTok, you don't have to spend all that much to get it. Here in this box is a $500 gaming PC that claims to be able to handle over 150 FPS in CS2. Let's open it up and see what it can really handle. And as you can see, this is an Ace Magic PC. If you've seen these PCs before on the channel, then you know they can be very small. They also may or may not have some sketchy malware installed on them, so we'll see what this one has. Oh baby, we got our PC right on top. That's so cool. You can see the fan in there. Hold on. Pew, pew, pew. Wow, look at that. Ooh, we have a light button. Excited to see what that does. On the side, oh, we got our annoying little stickers. For faster setup, avoid Wi-Fi or LAN initially. Connecting might trigger long updates. Oh wow, they really want to make sure you don't do that. What are these warnings? For faster setup, avoid LAN. It's the same thing. They cover the Ethernet cables with this, or the Ethernet ports, I mean. Why? All right, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this thing in and we'll turn it on, see what it can do. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the power button. 3, 2, 1. Spooling up, we got a light on the front. Oh baby, we got lights on the top. Look at all these RGBs. Let's go. Now, if you remember, we have a light button here. Let's go ahead and hit that. Ooh, I love that. Or you can just turn it off. Cool. Oh wow, we actually have a setup screen. Usually when you get these sketchy PCs from China, you end up just on a desktop with a bunch of pre-installed garbage. Looks like it's checking for updates right now, which is exactly what they were warning about. Now, I still have to wonder, like, what was it about the updates they don't want me to see, huh? They don't want it on the PC. Oh, maybe this is it. It needs one of those like really big Windows 11 updates, so, well, that's all right. I don't really mind waiting. I will come back when it's done setting stuff up. All right, guys, I am back. As you can see, we are on the desktop here. I've set some stuff up already. It was a bunch of boring Windows install stuff, really nothing to write home about. I even got some games installed, but let's just start with like looking at the PC itself and seeing if we have any like apps pre-installed that I didn't do myself. Looking at program files 86, I don't see anything obvious here other than Firefox, Steam, that's it. And yeah, pretty much the same story in normal program files, just Malwarebytes is the only thing that I installed there. Can also check the installed apps on the PC itself. And yeah, pretty much just a bunch of Microsoft bloatware that's pre-installed on every Windows PC. Yay. Now, I did install something here, Malwarebytes. I've mentioned it a few times now. I've never actually used this application. If there's a better thing I can use to scan for viruses or whatever, let me know down in the comments, but this is what people online recommended. Run full scan. Yeah, let's give this a try. No threats detected. Lame. Checking for gaps in my defenses. Oh, everything's good there. Digital footprint scan. Get out of here. Protection score 71. I assume that's good. I don't know. All right, well, as far as Malwarebytes is concerned, I guess this PC is good to go. That's actually kind of shocking. Originally, I also set this thing up with Wi-Fi, but I swapped over to Ethernet so we can get a more accurate idea of the speeds this thing can handle. All right, we'll just use the Ookla speed test here. See how this goes over Ethernet. Oh, baby, we're getting near full gigabit speeds. That's fantastic. But all right, that was the Ethernet test. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the Ethernet here and we'll test out the 5 gigahertz speeds. About 430 to 500 for the download upload situation. That's completely reasonable over 5 gigahertz. That's perfect. All right, next up, I'm gonna test a few games here because on the listing, they have specific claims for the kind of FPS you can expect. across a variety of games. Let's start off with Witcher 3 here. They say on the website this thing should be able to handle 45 FPS, I'm pretty sure. Sign in with your CD Projekt Red. No, it's an offline game. I'm not signing in. Don't do it. I gotta set the 1080p. We'll see if we can do 60 FPS just with the default settings that they have here. All right, here we are in the game. Looks like we're chilling at 50 FPS. Not perfect, but let me see if I can play around with the settings a little bit, get us up to 60. It is above 45, like the listing said. Yeah, let's just use the Steam Deck preset, see what that does. Oh, nice, that gets us up to 60 FPS, so it's probably pretty low settings altogether, but I feel like this is fine. Perfectly acceptable gaming performance. Oh, and also, guys, I looked into like what this Oculink thing can do. Apparently this is for external GPUs, which is sick. Theoretically, you could get the performance of this PC to be way higher if you wanted to then. Now let's see what happens if I really crank this, because Witcher 3, you can get pretty crazy with the graphics. There we go, ray tracing. Can this GPU, CPU even handle ray tracing? Oh God. Ooh, what does that say? Sub 30 FPS? 23 FPS. That's something. And it still looks like absolute butt. This is why people don't like ray tracing. This is horrible. Oh, look at that cinematic quality motion blur. It's making me so sick. But yeah, I mean, I'd say the listings claim of hitting 45 FPS in Witcher 3, pretty accurate. Let's try out Counter-Strike 2 next. They said 155 FPS. I don't play Counter-Strike, so I have no context if that's good or bad, but we're gonna find out. All right, we're on the main menu here. It says 40 FPS. All right, I'm just gonna put the game on low settings and we'll see what it does. It doesn't look very good, and I'm only seeing 120 FPS. It's also hitching quite a bit. Can I lower the settings even more? Not really, honestly. So I don't know where they were getting 155 FPS. In a normal game, 120 FPS is totally fine. CS2 though, I feel like, you need 500 FPS minimum. I don't know. Take those numbers what you will. The gaming performance on this PC, not amazing, but not terrible either. All right, last thing I want to test on this PC here, we're gonna run Cinebench and see what kind of scores we're looking at for this PC. Oh, and by the way, I guess I never really went over what this thing has. Cinebench isn't even doing anything and it's using up 100% of our CPU. I don't want to know. Anyway, this thing has a Ryzen 7 8845HS with 780M graphics. If that's good, let me know down below. I have no context. It's also got 32 gigs of RAM, which is pretty good. Terabyte SSD, ooh. I'm gonna assume that's an M.2. Yeah, it says NVMe SSD right there. That's fantastic. All right, let's start running the actual, we'll do a multi-core, because I think that thing said it had 16 threads, so. All right, it's been running for like a few minutes now. It's probably gonna settle around this score. You can see it right there. It's like number 7 on the list of CPUs they have there. Sitting at like the 750-ish range for points. Okay guys, I think it's time we stop playing around and we go a little nerd mode with this PC here. On this bad boy right here, I have a live environment for Linux Mint. We're gonna throw it on this PC right here, test out a game or two, and see if it improves the overall performance of the PC. I haven't tested this thing yet, so it might not even work. Let's find out together. All right, as you can see, I am booted into our very Windows XP looking BIOS here. And I should just have to change our little boot drive to our USB stick we got plugged into the front of the PC. Give me the Penguin. Oh baby, there we go. Okay guys, we are up and running inside of Linux. Look at this, it's all working great. It's the Mint logo. Look, things are happening now. We got Steam open, Witcher 3 is ready to go. We're gonna test the same games and see what happens. Okay, and just like that, we are in the game. Get out of here, menu. I'm trying to walk around and look at this. I'm on the Steam Deck preset, kind of like we were trying on the other one. Looks pretty good so far. And just like last time, I'm seeing basically 50 plus FPS, almost 60 sometimes. Should I see what happens if I turn on ray tracing this time? This has gotta be bad, right? Oh, you know what? 25 FPS. Why is that like mildly better? It's possible I have something changed, graphically like a little bit, but I guess that's an improvement. It's slightly less cinematic quality motion blur. Look at those ray traced pores. You can only get that on Linux. Anyway, so Witcher 3 was mostly the same. Let's go ahead and move on to Counter-Strike 2 and see if we can get something closer to that 155 FPS that we saw on the listing. Oh, that's not a good sign, Art. 15 FPS in the main menu. Did this get worse? Oh no. Oh, it's because we're in 4K. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, we have it now at 1080p with the lowest settings I can go. Are we certain this is the lowest settings? Because it kind of looks like it's running worse. Oh, it went back to 4K, that's why. Hold on. There we go, that's more like it. That looks better. And in terms of performance, we are still not getting 155, so I have no idea where they got that number from. Oh, get him. I'm getting him. I'm shooting. I got him. Whoo, baby. Oh, you know what? If I go over into this area and look directly into the sky, look at that. Guys, we're above 150, 170. Oh, baby, Performance City out here. I'm gonna go ahead and shut this PC down, and we're gonna open it up and see what's going on the inside. All right, let's start with these large silver screws on top here. I assume if I take these off, I can just get to the top of the PC at least, maybe get to RAM, hopefully? Or maybe the fact that they're like these weird star screw bits indicates that I'm not supposed to open this first? I don't know. Oh, sure enough, the top just comes right off. We're right in there. There's the fan. I don't see anything, like in terms of the PC itself, I can't really easily access anything from here, but I can flip it over. I already took all the little rubber feet things off of the corners, and I can just use a Phillips head here to get the bottom opened up. Oh, there we go. It was a little annoying to get this bottom part off, but either way, now that I do have it open, you can see we have a fan here connected to the bottom of the PC, and most of the stuff you'd ever care about messing with is right here, easily accessible. Basically, here's our RAM right here, our 32 gigs of RAM. Normal laptop size memory slots here, so very nice to see that. We have two M.2 slots. This one right here, I'm assuming is our SSD. And then this looks like an adapter that's going to that Oculink output that we saw earlier. You can see it right there. So you can use this adapter to connect an external GPU. Yeah, this is a pretty cool little gaming PC. No malware, somewhat reasonable price for what you're getting. Most importantly, it has the RGBs. Is Ace Magic actually good? You guys will have to let me know down in the comments. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Number 7. I bought a spaceship PC from TEMU, and in this video, we'll open it up, test it out, and see if it's worth the $800 I paid for it. So the last PC we got from TEMU was tiny and had this wild screen on the front of it, and apparently this PC should also have a screen, and it's shaped like a spaceship. Like, why? We gotta find out more. Let's unbox it and see what's inside. And then on the top here, what is this? Greetings, dear user. Thank you for purchasing our products. Wish you a pleasant experience with the machine. Okay, up here we got a box. Okay, I guess this is our accessories. This is very heavy. Okay, we gotta pull out the main event here. What is going on? Oh my God. Look at this thing. I mean, it's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's a freaking spaceship, but it looks sick. I mean, come on, that is such a cool design. And here it is. Oh my God. Oh man. All right, let's just take this front part off and we can admire the front in all its glory. Look at this thing. This is absurd. It's like if Alienware was still making like cool designs and stuff like they were in like the early 2000s. That's what this reminds me of. Oh my God, what is the front of this? We got a big old power button right there in the front, which is honestly awesome. And then we have this super acceleration esports experience written on the front. I love TEMU. Okay, and standing the device up on its bottom feet here, this is such a, do I even need to say anything? Let me just position it. Look at this thing. Can you just imagine, you got your monitor at home, you're probably watching this on or whatever, and you got this position next to it. Like, how cool are you gonna look with this thing? It's just so stupid, but so awesome. I guess you could also like orient it like that if you wanted to. It doesn't seem as sturdy, but you can do that. You can do that. Could even go upside down. Why not? What's stopping you? It's so cool. Also, what else is going on here in the front? This like plastic see-through thing here is so cool looking. I don't know. It looks like a visor or something. It's sick. I don't think these little arrows or anything indicate anything. They just look cool. But right here in the middle, you can probably barely see it, but that's gonna be our screen, I think, on this machine. What is this? I'm looking at the back here. This is big old warning. But look at all these ports. We got our power right here, 6 USB 3.0. 6 dual LAN, a DisplayPort, 2 HDMI, audio, USB-C, and a security thingy. You even get a little bonus hole down here for something, I don't know.
What did he say?
Also, I didn't mention this before, but on the top, we got these stickers. These are on the last device as well. I guess they have to put these on there, but why are they like so crooked? They just ruined the aesthetic of this machine, to be honest. Scan and join. Scan and join what? What do you want me to join? I don't trust this thing. Flipping over to the bottom, not a whole lot going on, just some vent stuff, sticker stuff. Wait, what is this? Hold up. What are we looking at? Okay, on the website, this is something we got to figure out together, right? They say something about it having some projection features. I do not understand what that means. Is this our projector? What is it projecting? We got to plug it in and find out. Let's go. I should have everything hooked up now, ready to go. Let's do it. Let's press this big old power button and see what happens. Oh, there it goes. Wait. Can you guys see that? Whoa. There it is. Ace Magic, baby. Wow, that's so cool. All right, the device is on. It's doing Windows stuff. But yeah, guys, look at this thing. Look at the Ace Magic moving across the table. You got the crazy RGB lights. There's more RGB lights on the front. It says mini PC. This is a mini PC to you? I don't know about that one. All right, we're on the desktop here. We got some things. We have Edge this time around instead of Chrome. And then we got our like screen management software. And then whatever this is. Oh no, this is our screen management software. Okay, we'll go into that in a second. Hold on. What is this one again? Ah, this is our RGB lighting control software. Wait, this is where we can control the projector. On, off, on. How cool is that? I wish I could like tell it what to display. Like, I don't know, put a picture of Frank up there. That'd be great. Okay, and then I can turn the RGB for the top pieces and the front bits right here on and off too. That's cool. All right, so first thing I figure we can try out here is Cinebench, like we did with the last TEMU PC. Let's see how strong this computer is. Now, this PC is like 4 times as expensive as the last one, so I'm pretty confident this should be way more capable. It's got like an actual dedicated GPU and everything. I think it has like a mobile 3060 or something like that, so this should be able to actually spit out some somewhat decent performance. And I gotta say, it's chugging along just fine, and I don't hear anything. This thing is silent. It says on the website it's got 4 fans. I don't know where they're hiding them inside this thing. We'll try and take it apart a little bit and find out if that's even the case. But this thing's dead silent, to be honest. And actually, while we're doing this, I figure we could like mess around with our screen here and see if we can get it to display some useful information. So let's see, we got CPU and GPU stuff. Sure, this works. Oh, there it goes. Look at that. It's honestly like a really clean looking display. I don't know. I think it's the exact same one they used in the last one, and it's really helpful. Like, it's telling me how much power it's drawing and the clock speeds of the CPUs and GPUs. I don't know. We got 65 degrees on the CPU right there. Not bad considering we're running a benchmark right now, and I hear nothing in this computer. Hey, look at that. I was able to get Frank on there. He's hanging out with the big boys now. We got him on the screen. Unfortunately, this seems to be the same system where like you can only make it display an image or you can do like the whole system info thing, which is nice, but I really wish you could like display whatever you want on the screen. I'm sure some tech wizards out there could figure it out, but I don't know. I wish you could have that feature by default. Alrighty, and we're back, and it looks like it got a solid 9,000 something. You will have to let me know if that's even higher than the last one. I am not looking it up. That seems pretty good though. I don't know. That's a lot bigger of an orange line than last time. Oh wow, look at that number go. Running a speed test right now on the Ethernet port right there. We're getting like 940 down. Looks like 900 something up. That's accurate. We have gigabit internet here, so that's good to go there. I guess I can test the Wi-Fi next. Hold on. All right, I got it connected to a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi now, so it's probably not going to be quite as fast, but it should still be pretty quick. And no surprise there, we're getting like 600 something for the download and upload. So yeah, not as quick, but still pretty good. And then before we go into testing a game, it looks like we have Intel 12th Gen 12700H. That is what they say on the website, I'm pretty sure. It has 14 cores. That's a strange number for that, but okay. We also have 2 GPUs. Okay, so this CPU does have integrated graphics, which is unnecessary because we also have an RTX 3060 laptop GPU. What? I mean, I'll take it, but weird. And then we also have our 32 gigs of RAM. And what do we got for our SSD in here? We got a terabyte. All of this matches up. Nice. Honestly, so far, the only thing I don't like about this PC is that I feel like it just kind of takes attention away from everything else in the room. It's just, nothing else in your room is going to look as good. Why are you going to want to look at the game you're trying to play when you have this to look at? I don't know. Now, I do want to say there, just as a little note, apparently Ace Magic has gotten in some trouble in the past for installing some Chinese malware on their machines. If I were to actually buy this and use this, yeah, it's probably a good idea. You know, install your own operating system, your own copy of Windows, your own copy of Linux or whatever, but I don't know, you might miss out on some of the software that comes included by default, but for us just testing it here, I'm sure it's fine. All right, we're up and running in Ghost Runner here. Got basically settings on high-ish, 1080p, and it's fine. I don't know. What does it say up in the corner? 70-ish FPS? For a machine that looks like a spaceship, it's pretty good. And again, I mean, this is a relatively intensive game, and it is silent. And there's air moving, it's just that the fans are super quiet. Very impressive. Super acceleration esports experience, indeed. But all right, guys, that's the software experience so far. Honestly, super impressed. This thing is great, much better than the last one. You would expect that for 4 times the price, but yeah, it's pretty great so far. Let's turn it off, tear it down, and see what's going on in the inside if I can figure out how to open this thing. Okay, I got this little rubber foot piece off, and I see a screw inside of there, so I'm gonna take all these off and get all the screws off, and I'll come back when I'm done. All right, I got all the screws off. What happens next? Does this come out? I think it might. Oops. Well, I broke something, but that's okay. It'll go back on. Don't worry, don't worry. All right, inside I see 2 of our 4 fans so far. Let's keep going. Oh, I think this is their warranty seal. I think I feel a screw underneath this right here. Let's give it a shot. Yep, here it comes. You gotta break right through the QR code too. How are you supposed to scan it to get some help if you break your own PC, huh? And you can see some cables right there that go to the projector thing you saw earlier. All right, I got the fans out and look at all this. Okay, you can see some copper stuff and heat pipes all around it. It said it had lots of copper heat pipes. That's good to see. Now, I don't see 4 fans. I just see 2 kind of decently sized fans that were, again, doing a great job. But 2 is not 4. I don't know where they got that number from, but oh well. Okay, I think I finally have all the screws out of the heat sinks here. And look at this. This is all one gigantic piece that all just connects directly to the board. No wonder this thing was staying cool. It's got a whole, I don't know, 1.5 pounds, it feels like, of metal here. And that is some goopy paste. Look at that. That is such overkill. It's all around the chip there, and it's all, oh no, it's all on the board there too. Like, that's crazy. They also have this giant, like, thermal putty piece. It's like real squishy. I guess that's our SSD right there. Let's just peel this up a little. No, I think that's like some little bits for the GPU and stuff. So I'm just gonna put those back. We can also see some other things in here now too. This is our little Bluetooth Wi-Fi chip, I assume. Yeah, it says Wi-Fi and Bluetooth, so yeah, that's definitely what that is. I still don't see our SSD though. Let's keep going and see what else I can find. All right, I got the board coming out there. It's a little messy because there's a lot of cables installed, but there we go. Okay, on the other side, we can see our M.2 slot right there. And there's actually another slot right there, so you could upgrade this thing surprisingly, but I'm not entirely sure how you're supposed to get to this other than getting this far, which is pretty intensive, to be honest. The last one was real easy to slot another drive in there, so that's a little disappointing. And then we also have our 2 things of RAM there. Would have been nice if they slapped all 32 on one stick. Again, would have just made it easier for upgradability, but not a big deal. Just something to complain about, I guess. And then right here, you can see some like little custom boards, I would assume, for like, actually, it looks like it's just one for our screen up here and whatever else is going on in the front. But I think if I kept going, I could probably get these like fins and stuff off, but I think you guys get the idea. This thing is insane. I mean, it's a lot of pretty good computer packed into this. Who doesn't want a TIE Fighter PC? It's so crazy. But anyways, guys, as always, make sure to comment down below how wrong I am. I appreciate you watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I will see you next time. Bye-bye. Number 6. So, you're finally gonna do it. This Christmas, you'll be asking mom and dad for a new gaming PC, complete with RGBs. Well, have I got just the pre-Black Friday deal for you? Oh, a gaming PC from Walmart that has accessories as well for just $230. Let's go ahead and see what's inside. Okay, right on top, as you guys can see, this is a monitor. That's right, $230, and this thing includes an entire PC, a keyboard and mouse, ooh, and a monitor to use as well. What in the world is going on at Walmart? This is value. What could possibly go wrong? All right, guys, I got the PC out here, and oh my God, what is this? I think this is just a normal, like, Dell Optiplex PC. Yep, Optiplex 3050. And they put some gamer decals on the front here. That's amazing, actually. What's going on with the back of this computer? Okay, we have HDMI, DisplayPort. It looks like there used to be something here, but it's not there anymore. It's kind of weird this thing has HDMI because this bundle also came with these cables here. This is a VGA cable and like a little VGA to HDMI, or DisplayPort rather, adapter. Let's look at our monitor here, see if this supports HDMI. By the way, look at this thing. Look at how it arrived to us. This looks straight out of a Goodwill. Insane. Anyway, let's flip her over. Oh, yep, look at that. We got VGA and DVI. No HDMI at all on this monitor. That's insane. Here's the mouse. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. It weighs nothing. Actually, that's kind of a good thing when it comes to mice. This is a competitive gamer mouse. Ooh. I'm free. Did you guys see that? One of the keys fell off the keyboard. Will this just like stick back on there? Oh, God, that was violent, but okay. It's staying on. Now, guys, I want to take a second and go over the Walmart.com listing, because so far you might not believe that you can buy this on their website. But here it is. It's out of stock currently. It's also cheaper than what we bought it for. But look at this image. Look at the amount of RGBs going on. Also, I was taking a look at this photo, and like, I can't tell if this is like AI upscaled or if it's just a straight up AI generated image. And also some of the photos show like a little controller here. That's a DualSense Edge. The DualSense Edge costs more money than this entire PC. That's false advertising. And we got these little speakers. Where are my speakers? We didn't get speakers. But here's the part I really want to go over. This listing has 454 ratings. Wow, not worth it. Terrible. It stopped working. Broke monitor. Oh, here we go. We got some photos. That's not even the same monitor. Is this company just grabbing any old cheap monitor they can find on Facebook Marketplace and they're sending them out to people from Walmart.com? The front of the PC looks the same though. Even though it's refurbished, it won't run Windows 11. Yeah, that's an important detail. You can see up here in the title, it says Windows 10 Pro refurbished. Windows 10 is no longer supported at all. So that's like immediately a sketchy listing. Why is Walmart allowing companies to sell PCs like this on their website? But you know what? I am impressed that I think we did get everything we were supposed to in the listing. That's assuming any of this actually works. Let's plug it in and see what happens. All right, guys, we're going for the classic TV camera so you guys can experience the high quality of this monitor. All right, power button's down here. Let's see what happens when I turn that on. We have a blue light. It's turning on. Okay. It's already doing better than I thought it might. No signal. Okay, that's all right. Let's go ahead and boot up the PC. Make sure we get our RGBs. Oh, baby, look at all those RGBs. Those are going wild. Actually, now that I take a closer look at it, it looks like this is like a whole RGB piece that's like glued onto the front of the computer. And wow, those are really bright. Look at all these viruses that may or may not be legit programs. I don't know. But hey, you know what? This booted right up to a desktop. The monitor's working. I mean, it looks like a cheap monitor, but it's functional. Look, for $230, I'm taking what I can get, you know? Oh, and this is actually a 1080p screen. That's really surprising since we don't have HDMI. But as you can see, we do indeed have Windows 10 Pro. So as of a few weeks ago, this computer is no longer receiving security updates from Microsoft. So now all the crypto hackers can install some malware on your kid's Minecraft PC. Brilliant. Anyway, should I trust these programs here? Let's just open LibreOffice. I don't know, man. Okay, this does indeed open the program. Who knows what else that installed, but here it is. All right, let's open up Firefox. Is this really going to be Firefox? I hope so. What is this? Server not found. Well, that makes sense. We haven't actually connected to Wi-Fi yet. Mostly because I'm afraid what happens if I do, but we're going to give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Oh, nice. This little adapter doesn't support 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi since our network is not showing up. You'll love to see it. Where did that noise come from? Who knows? I connected to Wi-Fi though. Looks like it's doing things. Let's test that again. Speakers, headphones. That's coming from a speaker inside the computer. You'd think it'd be coming from the monitor, but nope. Oh yeah, the monitor doesn't even show up as like an audio interface at all. Let's see here. Any other questionable softwares we should look at? Firefox, Chrome, LibreOffice. What is this? This literally just popped up. Intel Optane. Other than that, it looks like mostly normal Windows stuff. Let's check out our storage situation here. We should have 500 gigs, and we do. We're missing like 50 gigs though, so what's taking up all our storage? A large chunk of that's probably just Windows itself. In terms of programs on the computer, I'm only seeing like 5 or 6 gigs altogether. That's probably the apps we see here, along with whatever pre-installed stuff's on the computer. There's not much in the users folder either, which means there's not a lot in like our documents and downloads and stuff. Yeah, it looks like a majority of that. I'm seeing the Windows folder just climb up and up and up. It looks like a majority of that file size is just Windows. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing installed with Steam and some games and some other things that we can use to test if it's really a gaming PC. All right, guys, we have some premium gaming experiences installed, or really just one experience, the only one that matters. But first, I do want to show you guys something. We're running an internet speed test here. Now, I ended up plugging Ethernet in because the Wi-Fi was so bad on this PC. In fact, even the Ethernet is not really taking full advantage of our gigabit internet like it should, but 727 is fine. Why is the upload speed so slow? Whatever. But let me show you guys what it was looking like with Wi-Fi. I'm trying to turn Wi-Fi back on, but it doesn't want to do anything. Okay, I guess I can go to settings. Clicked on Wi-Fi. It's having trouble. Should I unplug the thingy and plug it back in? Plug it into the front this time, see what happens. Hey, it connected, amazing. That was weird. Oh yeah, 26 megabit per second. Oh, it's getting up to 30, incredible. But yeah, as you can see, this Wi-Fi thing is very jank at best. I guess it's nice it comes with it at all, but you're basically gonna be forced to use Ethernet no matter what, so I don't really even know if it was worth it. All right, next thing I wanna do here, I wanna run a Cinebench thing and just see what it does. And actually, we can look through the system specs real quick. Looks like this thing has an i5-6500 CPU. It's a 4-core, so hey, that's, I don't know, I'm looking for any reason this might be decent. 8 gigs of RAM, plenty, it's fine. It does have a 500 gig SSD. We saw this earlier, and so far, general usage around the desktop is totally fine on this PC. And then, ooh, in this gaming PC, we do not have a dedicated GPU. Intel HD Graphics 530. All right, let's just start our, let's do single core. Most of the time when we get these cheap PCs, from Walmart or wherever else, honestly, these don't even run. It'll just error out immediately, but it does look like it's doing things. Oh, I'm judging a little too soon. But yeah, so far this is not as bad as the worst we've seen from Walmart, which is a $300 PC that came with parts from 2012. And it didn't include a monitor, so that's Yeah.
One eternity later.
Oh my gosh, after 20 years, it's finally done, and it got 927 points. I think that's very bad, but you guys will have to let me know. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on to the one and only game we need. See, if you're a kid and you're looking for a gaming PC, what's the one game you care about? It's Fortnite. And if this thing is not powerful enough to run Fortnite, then what is the point of its existence? I don't know. We're gonna find out together. It's not looking too promising so far. I mean, this looks pretty bad. The frames are real low. It does look like it's trying to load into a game though, so that's something. Oh my. Oh, it's struggling. Oh no. Whoa, what was that? Oh baby, we're not getting all that many frames today. Now, what kind of settings are we looking at? 1080p, legacy performance, that sounds good. It's automatically going for as performance mode as it can. Yeah. Show me the performance. Show me how bad it is. 15 FPS as we're gliding down. That's incredible. Really bad. Yeah. Oh, blame the PC for that one, yeah.
Skill issue.
Considering that we were, I don't know, sub 30 FPS in that whole experience there, I'm gonna say this is not good enough for Fortnite, which means that it's not good enough for any kid out there to get for Christmas. But guys, what I wanna do next, I wanna open up this door right here, take a look inside this thing and see if this is indeed just a normal looking Dell machine. I'm pretty sure it is. Also, what are these? I just noticed these little parrots on the top of our monitor here. Why? Who put those there? All right, I'm sliding the top of the PC off. And on the inside, we don't have any RGBs going on. If you saw our last video where we covered basically the same thing, a Dell PC that they turned into a gaming PC. That one actually had a bunch of RGB strips like glued on the inside. All of the RGB situation is just glued to the front, which in my opinion is even lazier. But as you can see, we have this cable here that I believe is coming through the front part of the case here. And they got some like wild like shrink wrap situation that's like plugged into a power port. It's actually like a little splitter. Part of it's going to the SSD, part of it's going to the lights here, and then I guess that's somehow connecting to the power supply here. But yeah, I think that's really all they did. They grabbed an off-the-shelf SSD from Micron. Is this one refurbished? You know, as far as I can tell, it is not refurbished. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that was in that $300 Walmart PC. They put refurbished hard drives in those. Like, that's insane. So while this is pretty boring on the inside, I can't really complain. It has an SSD at all. That's a massive upgrade over what we've seen in the past from Walmart. But let me know what you guys think of this PC down in the comments below. Number 5.
We've purchased some wild PCs on this channel, like a PC that looks like a spaceship, or a PC that fits in the palm of your hand, or even a PC that has a built-in touchscreen. But in this video, we'll unbox and test a dinosaur-shaped PC that might just be the worst one yet. Let me show you. So they call this a mini PC, but the box is pretty dang large, so not quite sure what's actually in here. Let's open it up and find out. There it is. Holy crap. It seriously is a Dino gaming PC. That's insane. Wait, hold on. Oh no. I'll show you here in a second, but this is not good. All right, so first of all, we have a little brown box here, I guess, with a power supply. And now, like I hinted at, I do have some initial issues with this Dino PC because the build quality kind of looks like crap. Let me explain. Now, starting with the Dino shell itself, it looks pretty nice, like it's a nice high quality cutout. In the metal, it's a nice metal exterior, but the first thing I noticed when I opened this PC up is the fact that we have a little mesh grill just kind of floating in the wind here. I can move it around with my finger, so that's concerning. And then guys, just wait for it. As we flip this thing to the top, it is straight up 100% open to the exterior, so you can just stick your hand in and touch the board, touch the components. That's concerning to me for a full-fledged gaming PC. But let's go ahead and take a closer look at the rest of this PC. So on the front, we have what I would assume is our power button, USB-C, couple aux ports, USB-A port right there. Flipping to the back, we have a little label here for M-Lung. Also M.Star, definitely heard of that before. And then we've got an Ethernet jack, got some more USB ports, and then HDMI, display port. That's, I mean, like, I don't know, it wasn't super expensive, but it was like $300-400, I think. That's a bit absurd for that price. All right, guys, got this thing plugged in. Let's go ahead and try the power. So 3, 2, 1. Okay, we got power there. Okay, there it is. It's finally booting up. Let's go ahead and set this bad boy up and get started and see what this thing can do. Oh wait, it's it's restarting in it for whatever reason, and the Dino little logo just popped up, which is kind of cool, I guess. All right, guys, the PC is finally done with its Windows updates, at least I hope it is. So let's go ahead and log in here. And wait, what? Oh, this thing's making a nasty noise. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's like a high-pitched noise that honestly you probably wouldn't hear inside of an enclosed case. But now that it's open and a foot away from me, I can hear it loud and clear. But of course, it's actually not done. Classic Windows. All right, well, let's wait. All right, guys, so finally booted up here. Let's go ahead and check out some specs on this bad boy and see what this thing is packing. All right, so it looks like we have 500 gigs of storage. It's clearly an SSD. We can literally see it straight through the case. We also got 32 gigs of RAM, which is not bad. And then our processor is an AMD Ryzen 7 7735HS with Radeon graphics. And you can see our graphics are built into the processor here. Now, guys, I wanted to show you one more thing before we start putting this PC through the ringer. So I also wanted to look at the motherboard version. You can see here, it's made by Shenzhen Imlung, which we saw the whole Imlung thing here on the side of the PC. And the motherboard model is HCAR 6000-I. And I tried to look this motherboard up and couldn't find anywhere to buy it. I really can only find this info on a Chinese website here with some photos and some specs down below about the motherboard. I'm assuming it's just like probably a standard PC motherboard they put in these, like the Chinese companies put in these mini PCs. So I don't know, not a whole lot of details on them, at least as far as I can find. But let's go ahead and start with a internet speed test here. So I do have my Ethernet cable plugged in. Let's go ahead and see what kind of speeds we're getting. Okay, so downloads 800, uploads 900, and I get a gig up and a gig down on my internet, so 800, 900 is pretty reasonable. And I do want to do a Cinebench test here in a minute, but first I want to do some like very basic just testing of the computer itself, like through YouTube. Let's go ahead and try to watch a YouTube video and see if it can play, because the last time I got a mini PC was from TikTok, and that thing, it was stuttering just for YouTube videos. It was bad. So we'll pull up one of our recent videos here, and at first, yeah, it looks pretty good. I don't see any stuttering right off the bat. Let's go ahead and see if I can like scrub through the video. Oh yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Okay. Yeah, wow, that's that's a lot better than the last few mini PCs I've gotten. Okay. I wonder if I can watch multiple YouTube videos. Okay, so I opened up like 8 YouTube tabs and I'm still opening some more here. And so far it's like, I heard the fans rev up a little bit. Oh, it's still making that nasty like high-pitched noise. I don't like that, but you know, it's not going too loud so far. And checking out our performance, our CPU is at like, yeah, it's 5%. It spiked a little bit just a second ago. Our memory and our GPU are all, I'd say, fairly reasonable for having a million tabs open in Opera here. So yeah, I think it definitely passes the basic user test who just wants to watch YouTube or maybe type in a Word document or something. But let's go ahead and close this out, open up Cinebench, and we'll try to run a Cinebench test and see what the results are. Okay, so last time I ran a Cinebench test on a mini PC, it crashed the whole thing and gave me the blue screen of death. It was just yeah, it didn't do much. Let's go ahead and try to run this. We'll try to run a single core test and see what that does. Okay, well, the PC went blank for a second and then the fans revved up like crazy. So not sure what that's about, but it's still running the test. All right, guys, so I finished with a single core test and a multi-core, and you can see the multi-core is actually 13,000, which comparatively to the other CPUs here is pretty solid. And being an 8-core, 16-thread CPU, I feel like that's actually not bad for the price on this PC. And single core tested was 1 out of 12 out of the ones comparatively on the list here, but I don't think there's a whole lot of single core tests out there, at least compared to multi-core. But guys, next up, let's go ahead and download Steam and try to play some games. So Steam is installed and I'm downloading the Ghost Runner demo right now, and I gotta mention that every time this PC does anything, the fan just goes crazy. Like, listen to this. You know, it could be a million different things, but it's just something I've noticed with this PC. But let's go ahead and, yeah, let's go ahead and run the Ghost Runner demo and see how this plays. Okay, now pulling up Ghost Runner, I feel like this should run fine on this PC here, but a little skeptical because the last time I ran it on a PC, it was getting like literally 5 frames per second. So, yeah, hopefully it's a little better than that this time, but let's go ahead and find out. Starting off strong here with a really weird resolution. Let's go ahead and play it anyway and just, yeah, we'll see what it does. Okay, well, whatever settings I'm on initially is at 30 frames per second. Now the textures look horrible, so I must be on a really low setting. So let's go ahead and change that. No, it's just that my resolution is at 1280 by 720. What? Why? Yeah, that's more like it. All right, I got this thing. I got the resolution pumped up to 4K, and you can see right off the bat, it's looking like crap. My text is so small now, I can't even see my FPS counter in the corner, but it's like, yeah, it's definitely like 5 frames per second, I think. And yeah, you can tell. But all right, let's go and try to change these settings again to get something that's actually reasonable to play. Okay, yeah, so putting everything at high and then putting resolution at like half makes it run reasonably well. I could optimize it a bit more, but it's I don't know, I'd call it fine now. I can't even see what the resolution or what the FPS is because it's so small. Yeah, actually, never mind, it's running like 15 or 20, so I probably need to lower our specs down a little bit more. Or maybe the PC will just turn off. Signal is going in and out. What's going on? It's just flashing. Okay, whatever. It finally stopped. I just changed the resolution back down a lot lower, and yeah, now it runs fine, but of course resolution's really low. And now our fan's going crazy, you know, just as per usual. Whatever, man. But you know, for $300 to $400 on a pre-built PC, I feel like the performance is fine, you know, as I've seen so far. But guys, let's go ahead and turn this PC off and tear it down and take a closer look at this thing because I'm excited to see what the inside looks like, or the inside, even though the entire thing is outside. let's just tear it down. So we have, I guess, 5 screws on the outside that I think we just need to take out, and hopefully it'll come apart. So as soon as I took the first screw out, it kind of, the whole piece flexed out. So the screw is basically holding this thing in place, which I don't know, is not great in terms of how this case fits together. Let's see if the rest of these screws do the same thing. Yeah, you can see how a lot of these holes just like don't really align that well anymore because I took them out. And actually, I gotta remove more stuff on the bottom too. Oh man. Wait, hold on. Did I get a used PC? Okay, so look at this. So I did start taking this screw off already. So there is just some marks from taking the screw out. But this one right here, I have not touched. And there's already some, like, I wouldn't call it stripping, but there is some wear and tear on that screw. Like somebody has been in and out of the machine. So I mean, this is supposed to be brand new, but clearly somebody has been inside of this thing doing something, which is interesting. But all right, I think I have enough apart. There we go. All right, so this piece comes off, and wow, yeah, sure enough, it's just it's just a cutout mesh piece that's glued, and you can just see the glue in there, which is, I don't know, not surprising, but I thought we'd have a little bit higher build quality than this. I mean, it's literally just open. It's just open to the rest of the world. Like, there's nothing stopping you from spilling water inside of this thing, or from sticking your hands inside of this thing, from a little kid like tossing something inside of it. I don't know, it's just like not a PC you can use on a daily basis and feel safe about having it sitting around. You can also see our whole fan apparatus here, which has some heat pipes going to our heat sink and then blows it straight out the back. Now the thing is, like, I don't know what the point of this is, because like you're clearly intaking air here and then pushing it out of the back, but like there's also just air coming in from all the sides. So I'm sure it's fine in terms of cooling because the entire thing is open, but there's clearly just there's no clear air path here. It's just all open. It's weird. Also got a couple of SATA ports down there. And I should probably mention the front PCB right here, which houses all of our ports on the front, connected via ribbon cable to the main board. And I think this piece right here, the power button, is what was rattling around, or at least one of the things that was rattling around while I moved the PC around, because it just rattles. So that's interesting. And if you look close, you can see the other side of the PC case has the exact same mesh with glued on mesh. So yeah, so overall, guys, I don't know about this thing. It just it's kind of jank. The whole build quality, it's like, it's a cool novelty, but it's not practical in the least bit to have this thing open to the air. So is it worth it? Probably not. Guys, I'll see you next time.
Number 4.
I bought a $300 mini PC from TikTok with a screen built into it. Yes, you heard that right. And in this video, we're gonna unbox it, test it out, and see what this thing can actually do. Now, in case you aren't aware, TikTok Shop is super sketchy, especially because they're pricing like, you can get $90 Xbox Series S consoles, as well as S25 Ultra phones for super cheap. So let's see what they're doing with PCs. Oh my goodness, that looks like a tablet from the top. And yeah, sure enough, it says it's Windows 11. It says it has a screen. Let's open this thing up and see what's actually inside. Let's take a closer look at this actual device, and yes, sure enough, there is a giant 8-inch screen on the front of this PC, and it just looks like a black rectangular box. Hold on, is it powered by batteries? What is this? Why is this compartment here? But all right, let's check out the side here. So we have a power button. I guess that's an SD card slot right there. 4 USB ports, USB-C, and then I guess an auxiliary jack for headphones or a mic or whatever. And then looking at the other side here, we got our power jack and upside down HDMI port, display port, 2 more USB ports, and then 2 Ethernet jacks for whatever reason. Maybe one of them is 10 gig, maybe, probably not. But anyways, looking at the bottom here, I actually just noticed that we have 4 rubber feet. Are those the rubber feet? They're just like, there's nothing there. Let's see if they actually work. And nope, they don't. They just slides. And I also forgot to point out that we have some ventilation here on all the sides. So it looks like, yeah, every side has some ventilation. Hopefully their fans are facing the right direction, because I've seen a lot of fans from Chinese PCs that are all either facing outwards or all facing inwards. Hold on, that's what there was. Very sketch kind of stuff. Let's go ahead and I guess just plug this thing in and go ahead and see what it does. And actually, one more thing before we turn this PC on, I noticed that we have a little illustration here in our manual for our hard disk expansion interface on the bottom that appears to line up with this little battery compartment. So let me just go ahead and open this up and see what's inside of it. Wait, what? It's stuck. Wait, that's not good. It's just bending upwards. Okay, well, I guess that's not coming off for now because it's straight up, I can't push it back there without breaking it. So we'll try that again later maybe. Let's go ahead and plug this thing in and hopefully it actually works. All right, plugged in. We've got our red light here. Let's go ahead and see if it turns green when I turn it on. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's something on the screen there. Also, we have a screen protector here. Let's go ahead and take that bad boy off. Oh no. Yep, so I guess by default it is in vertical mode, as you can see here on our screen on the PC. It's also outputting to my monitor right now, so we're kind of double screening it. But let's go ahead and just go through here and see. Oh, it's touchscreen. I just did that instinctively, but did not expect that to work. But apparently it is touchscreen. It's doing something else now. I connected to the internet and now it's just doing its own thing. Probably installing some scam software, oh yeah, updates, great. Now it's checking for Windows updates again. Wow, I thought we did this. What? Come on, man. Maybe it's some fake TikTok updates disguised as Windows updates. Just saying. All right, guys, so this PC finally finished updating after seriously 45 minutes, and now the screen won't pop on. Hold on, what? Hello? Oh, that's not good. Okay, well, the screen finally came on, but it was only after it just restarted itself. I didn't do anything, it just restarted. And I think it might be because of how hot this thing is, because holy crap, it is extremely hot to the touch. Let me go ahead and show you the heat signature with my thermal camera. Yep, so guys, here it is. This entire brick is just blazing hot, and there are a few little hot spots at the vents down here at 115 to 120 coming out, and this thing is like on the main menu not doing anything, so that's a little concerning. It's blazing. Let's go ahead and see if it'll actually turn on or get to the, okay, there's my sign-in screen. Hallelujah, there we are finally on our Windows screen. Of course, this is the random background. Let me go ahead and just start by seeing if we can actually change our layout here. Okay, actually, we have a rotation lock here. I wonder if I can tilt this thing and if it will automatically, oh, it does. Yo, wait, that's actually kind of sick. What is this thing based off of? Is it supposed to be a tablet? I don't quite understand. This is a strange concept to me, but it's pretty cool so far. And you can see the screen resolution here is 1280 by 800, so not ideal, but it's something. And I will say I'm actually very surprised it made me set up Windows, because usually these TikTok, Chinese, TEMU kind of devices are already preloaded with Windows and like signed in, which is always super sketchy, because just for obvious reasons, you know, maybe malware is loaded up or spyware or something sketchy like that is done. But let's go ahead and just start here by checking out our specs and see what's built into this thing. Okay, well, I'll say right off the bat, that's not a great sign that our CPU is at 44% and our memory is at almost 50%, and we're just on the home screen. Nothing is open except the task manager. All right, so under our specs, you can see we have a Win JRN371A70SS. Our processor is an N95, so it's an N-series Intel chip here with a 1.7 gigahertz. Wait, hold on. That is not what they advertised. Hold up. Yeah, so nothing here matches up. At the top of the image, it says 3.4 gigacores. What is it saying there? It's just gigahertz, right? Like, what? And then at the bottom of the image, it says base frequency of 1.9 gigahertz and burst frequency of 4.4. But over here, it's 1.7. That doesn't align with anything, so they're just lying, I guess. Now we have 8 gigs of RAM, and yeah, I'm assuming our graphics are built into our CPU, because there's no way we have a dedicated GPU in this $300 device with a screen. And it looks like we have a 256 gigabyte SSD, which is, I'm glad it's an SSD and not a hard drive, because you never know with these sketchy things. They're gonna put in some old components, old crappy components. And of course, later we're gonna tear down this thing and see what's on the inside, because I'm really curious if we can like hook up this screen to an external source and use, you know, maybe play a PS5 on this screen while we're using our PC on another monitor. I'm just spitballing stuff here. But before that, we obviously wanna do some gaming, do some spec testing here on the PC, and I also wanna run a speed test. All right, so hardlined here, we got 336 down and 665 up. Let's compare to my other PC that's plugged into an Ethernet cable into the same source. So just as my other PC, 940 down, 940 up. So whatever network card they're using in here, I guess, just sucks. I could try the other port here and see if that does anything differently. Nope, other ports right about the same. 360, 340, we're actually dropping now, down to under 300, nice. All right guys, been playing around with this thing for a while, downloading some games, that sort of thing, and I think I may have figured out why this thing is getting so hot. You know, I basically just decided to figure out where the air is coming from, like where's the heat being pushed out of this device, and I put my hands in front, put my hands to the side, put my hands to the back, and sure enough, I don't feel any heat getting pushed out. Is there seriously not a fan inside? And well, here's what I do. I put my ear up to this thing, and sure enough, I hear nothing. Guys, I think this thing is being passively cooled. I don't know, maybe normal for this size of PC, but obviously not a good thing, because this thing is on fire. Holy crap, it's gonna burn my hand. But let's go ahead and test out some games next, see how those run. We're also, actually, before we do that, we're gonna do a Cinebench right here and see what kind of stats it gives us and see if this thing, you know, it might overheat, frankly, and turn itself off. Let's go ahead and start with the multi-core test here and see what happens. Okay guys, so we finished the multi-core score here, and it's only 1200, which is, as you can see in reference to the other CPUs here, is really bad. And actually, my main frame of reference I have is a mini PC we bought from TEMU for $150 about 6 months ago, and that thing got a score of 2000, and it has apparently the same processor, an Intel N95 with the same clock speed, so I'm not quite sure why this one is so much lower. My first thought is the fact that this thing is probably running blazing hot, and for obvious reasons, no fan inside. Hold on, that's what there was. Now, I could run the single core score, but I feel like that's not even worth running at this point, because like we know it's bad. Let's go ahead and put that away though, and we'll go ahead and open up Steam. I downloaded some games. We'll start with GTA 4 here and see what this thing can do. I frankly, not even sure if we can launch the game. It might just crash because this thing is garbage so far. Nice. Can't proceed because something wasn't found. Cool. All I did was press download on Steam and it just did its own thing, so that's awesome. All right, guys, so game did boot up and it was actually loading. I pressed play and now it's just, it's completely frozen. I can't get out of it. I can't minimize it. I can't exit. I can't do anything. Let me see if I can't even get to the task manager, actually. Like, it just, like, can I? Bye-bye. Oh, and Steam just crashed. Nice. Let's just restart this whole thing. I'm gonna do a hard reset. What is this? Slide to shut down your PC. Oh my gosh, even the screen is blazing hot now. Well, since I couldn't get GTA 4 to load, let's go ahead and try Ghost Runner. That's gonna go so much better. Let's see what this does. Bye-bye. Wow, it looks like we actually made it to the main menu here. Let's see if I can do anything. It's so jittery, I don't know if I'll be able to select the right thing that I want to. All right, so everything is off or low now. We might have to change our resolution later, but we'll leave it as is for now. All right, guys, so we're getting about a solid 6 frames per second. Oh, never mind, 5 frames per second here with our low settings. I cannot see anything. This is absurd. I mean, it's not like I expected anything differently, but let's go ahead and see if I can make the resolution even lower. 601 by 376. Let's try that. Hey, there we go. We're up to a solid 17 frames per second. And you can't see hardly anything now because the resolution is so low. All right, let's just try the lowest resolution possible here. Okay, 127 by 79. And we're still only at 30 frames per second. I must be missing something because what is this is absurd. And I have one more game to try here. We have Gravity Circuit, which is, if it doesn't boot this game, then this PC is just, I have no words. Let's see what happens here. Well, guys, we can play our NES games at 60 frames per second here in 2025 on our, just whatever this PC thing is. But guys, next thing I want to do is obviously open this thing up and take a look at the inside and see what's going on, because like, whatever it is, it's absurd. Let's find out. And also, just to confirm, yes, there was never any fan noise at all the entire time I was playing games. But let's go ahead and flip this thing over, and I assume there are screws underneath those 2 parts right there, and probably also underneath these rubber feet. And I actually forgot about this little piece right here that wouldn't open before. Let's try to get this open first. Okay, finally got that off, and let me just go ahead and... Oh my gosh, that's so hot. Hold on. Let me pull out my thermal camera and show you guys. Oh my goodness, guys, this is absurd. Look how hot that is. Even actually the hottest part is right here. What in the world is going on, man? That's messed up. But anyways, ignoring the whole heat situation for now, it looks like we have, I guess that's our RAM right there that's soldered to the board. That's what it appears to be. We also have a slot right here where we can put an SSD or a hard drive, I guess. That's not an M.2 slot, that's just for an SSD or something, a normal SSD, which is a little interesting. But let's go ahead and see if we can pop these screws out and get this thing opened up a bit more. All right, here we go. Got the screws out. This back piece popped off, and sure enough, oh, we got an M.2 SSD down here. And you know what? The other thing I noticed here, we looks like we actually have a left and a right speaker on the grill side grills right there. So those are not for ventilation. That's actually just for sound. And it looks like this whole apparatus will just kind of fall out of place, maybe. Oh, here it comes. Maybe. Come on. All right, they did not make it very easy to get into this thing. I took off 2 ribbon cables down there that look like they go to the screen. So yeah, I guess there's no like HDMI port or anything for the screen, so I can't display something else on it unless I were to wire up to these specific ribbon cables down there. But then flipping this board around, hold on, that's a fan. What there was. That fan was definitely not running at all. And oh my gosh, that heatsink is blazing hot. There's also this random white wire that goes from the side of the case to the back of the motherboard, and I'm not sure what that's for. I'm assuming it's like a ground wire or something for the case, which is an interesting placement because you really can't remove it at all without desoldering it. But guys, I guess that's it for this PC. Don't buy it, it's horrible. But guys, I'll see you next time.
Number 3. I feel like these days you shouldn't have to spend that much money to get a decent laptop for schoolwork, web browsing, that kind of thing. And that's why I went ahead and bought 2 of the cheapest laptops you can find on Newegg, just so we can see exactly how bad it could get with them being less than $100 each. Let's open them up and find out. Oh my God, what in the world did they do to this laptop? Is it like magic erased? Ugh, the bottom is not any better. It looks so terrible. They said the condition is supposed to be used very good. Would you call this right here used but very good? Anyway, we haven't even opened it up yet. Maybe the inside looks worse? You know, surprisingly, it's not as bad. There's some stuff and scuffs and whatnot on the bottom part here, but the keyboard looks perfectly fine, and surprisingly, the screen is okay. It's a little like, I don't know what that is right there. Some kind of material hanging out. It's like someone hit it with a good sneeze before shipping it out to us. Now, as you can see, this is actually a 2-in-1 laptop. I didn't expect that. Oh, and it's got one of those like camera cover things. You see that? You can slide the cover and you can make sure the FBI isn't spying on you anymore. Either way, let's go ahead and turn this laptop on. Oops. Turn the laptop on and see if it works. Oh, it's turning on. There it goes. Oh, nice. We got user already set up here, so it's gonna, boot up into a pre-installed version of Windows. Why is the background a solid white like that? Permanently blinding yourself every time you want to use your laptop. That's a new one. That's a new one. All right, guys, I have an easier time seeing the screen like this, so this is what we're gonna do. And, you know, from this angle, I noticed something that I didn't see before. What is this? It's like a little white spot there. But all right, let's just take a second and explore this thing, see what kind of pre-installed nonsense we have on here. Intel Graphics Command Center. Does that mean they like pre-installed like all the graphics drivers I might need? That's actually kind of nice. Yeah, other than that, I don't actually see any apps pre-installed. So, okay, could be worse. Maybe there's some super secret stuff hiding on here that's acting as a bit of spyware for the Newegg seller. In fact, wait, what? Did we seriously buy a 60 gigabyte PC? We got PC Health Check. Is that a Microsoft thing or is that like something else? Okay, I think this is the actual Windows like virus scannery thing. PC Health at a glance. Okay, this is their official app as far as I'm aware. Introducing Windows 11. Let's check if your PC meets the system requirements. Okay, sure. I doubt it does. It's actually kind of nice because if you want to keep using Windows without, you know, leaving your computer open to security problems in the future, they're shutting down security updates on Windows 10 in like less than 2 months. Can you fit a Windows 11 install on a 64 gig machine? It'll be close. Anyway, let's check Task Manager to see what kind of specs we got in this thing. Got an Intel Celeron N4020 CPU. I have no idea what that means. Base speed 1.1 gigahertz. And it's a dual core. Oh no. You better not open 2 apps at once. It's over for you. Ooh, it's got a whopping 4 gigs of memory. Are we certain this thing can handle Windows 11? I don't think so. You open Chrome once and your whole PC is gonna explode. And for our graphics, we got UHD Graphics 600. Does that mean this thing can play games? We'll have to find out. Wow, shockingly, this computer supports 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. All right, we are indeed connected to Wi-Fi. Let's open Edge. Gross. We'll just do a quick speed test here. Connection isn't private to Bing? Google isn't working either. Hold on. What? I guess I can check for updates real quick, make sure we're good to go there. Error encountered. Couldn't connect to the update service. Excuse me? Is this Windows being Windows, or is this the sketchy Newegg viruses going on here? Well, I guess I can restart the PC. Let's give that a try. Now it's telling me my clock is behind. At least we got a new error after restarting the PC. It does think it is December 28th, 2022. Oh, as soon as I opened the date and time, it corrected itself to the correct day. Okay. Oh, and it's working now. Amazing. All right, and I can reconnect it to our 5 gigahertz network here. And let's see, 200-ish over Wi-Fi? That's fine by me. Oh, it's going down. Usually I'd expect, on a nicer PC, I'd expect to see something like 400 to 500 on 5 gigahertz, but it's a $70 laptop from Newegg, so I will take what I can get. Look at that upload, nice and fast. Actually, in the end, it looks like it got all the way up to almost 400. Not bad at all. All right, let's see if this computer can handle YouTube next. I'm gonna click this video right here. It's a little laggy trying to play back this 480p video. Oof, I'm also on max brightness right now. It's not bad, but yeah, not blindingly bright like you'd want a screen to be. Speakers are not good. They're not good at all. Tinny. They sound like they're coming from like the backside of a phone you left on the other corner of the room. It's terrible. But let's see what happens here when I crank the resolution up. I could try 4K. Let's just do 1080p and see what happens. Okay, it's playing back all right. I can skip ahead a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it's taking it a second to catch up, but you could reasonably watch 1080p videos on this screen. But all right, guys, other than this clearly not being a very good condition computer at all, I'm almost impressed with what this dual-core CPU can handle. Let's go ahead and install some games and a benchmark and see if it can handle that. All right, guys, we are back. I have things installed. It took hours, maybe 4 or 5 hours altogether for this thing to like do all the Windows updates and crap. We're just gonna start with some Deltarune here. Oh, it's launching up already. That's a good sign. If it can't play Deltarune, I don't really... Can this run anything? All right, the glare was really bad at that angle I was using before, but as you can see, the game's working fine. It's running okay. Let's go ahead and try our next game out. Oh my, guys, apparently I'm at a 1366 by 768 resolution, and we are getting, the number's real small in the corner, but it says 7 FPS. This is a very retro style kind of game, so like, I don't think our chances of playing games on this laptop is looking particularly high. Oh, you know, I was gonna say maybe it has something to do with the fact I'm on battery, but I mean, I'm on better performance mode. I guess I can change it to best performance. Oh, you know what? It's a little better. We're all the way up to, oh, wait, nope, back down to 7 FPS. Oh, okay, never mind. All right, I got one final test we gotta do here. We gotta try to run Ghost Runner demo on this, right? It's not gonna go well, but let's give it a shot. Uh-oh, what does this say? UE4 Ghost Runner game has crashed and will close. Oh no, I can't play Ghost Runner. Who would have known? All right, final test for this thing. I got Cinebench R23. Are we on like R24 now? Or R25 maybe? I don't know. I'm honestly assuming this is just gonna like crash instantly, but let's give it a shot. Oh, the render test is actually starting. That's amazing. Oh, I mean, it's been running for a little while now. Is this thing like getting warm at all? It's like a little warm, but I don't hear like a fan in there or anything. Oh, is this thing completely passively cooled? That's kind of shocking, honestly. But if that is indeed the case, it's actually kind of impressive that it's running this at all. But for now, I'm just gonna set this to the side, let it do its thing, and we're gonna go ahead and unbox the other laptop that we bought. Either way, I see the tablet here. This is a large tablet. This is kind of amazing. It's got like the Samsung like S3 era kind of backing on it. Like it literally just looks like a Samsung Galaxy S3 but big and long. Also guys, it has a Windows 8 sticker. That's incredible. All right, but flipping this bad boy over, bezels. Okay. I mean, the front of this is very simple. It's just screen in singular Windows button. Let's see. On the bottom here, what are these? They look like they like pull out or something, but I can't get them to move. Maybe this is where some kind of like keyboard attachment would go, along with this like really funky looking port. Either way, it looks like our power cable would go in there on the bottom of the unit. That's kind of random. And then on the side here, the only thing I see is this little notch right here. Is this a stylus? Yo, look at this thing. It's got like a little button on it and everything. This thing is kind of cool. And then this actually shows like a USB symbol on here. What do we got? Wow, a full-size USB like 2.0, 3.0 kind of thing? That's kind of impressive they got it fitting in this unit. It's pretty thin. All right, guys, let's go ahead and turn this tablet, laptop, PC thing on. This thing was 50 buckaroos, by the way, so I don't really know what I should expect here. Well, it's not turning on, so that's not a good start. Oh, there it goes. Just need a little bit of power. That's not a big deal. Oh, this thing's factory reset. We got a bit of setup to do. Hey, the touchscreen works pretty well. This stylus is pretty nice. Personalize. I want to be pink. Heck yeah. Enter a name for this PC. Okay. Oh, nice. It's got like a full touchscreen interface that pops up.
Nope.
Whoa, what just happened? What was that? Just with the keyboard. Give it back.
Nope.
What? Hello? How are you breaking already? I just need the keyboard. Oh, there it goes. All right, we're through most of the setup stuff now. Come on, baby, show me Windows 8. It's been so long since I've interacted with a computer with Windows 8. Controversial to say, but I kind of miss it. I miss the way this used to suck. Wow, it's even showing up with like the proper layout and everything, so this thing does recognize that it's a weird tablet machine. Swipe in from any edge. It's already not working. Oh boy. Move your mouse into any corner. You're not doing anything. Come on, just take me home. Why aren't you doing anything? I'm just amazed that this thing instantly is broken. How can this be possible? Like, come on. Oh, it's doing things. You're getting your PC ready. Oh, it's finally letting us into the operating system here. And look at these tiles. This is the Windows 8 experience, guys. But hey, at least we're using, like, this was the intended purpose. This is what they made the tiles for, as opposed to, like, you know, having to deal with the tiles on a full-size desktop. And hey, I gotta say, it's moving pretty smooth, surprisingly enough. Now, is there a way to actually use the desktop mode on this? Oh, there it is, desktop. Yes. Oh, baby, no start button. This was the thing with Windows 8. This is what made everyone hate it. Now, I think that's what it was trying to describe to me earlier. If I just like put my mouse in the corner here. Nope, that doesn't do anything. If I swipe from oh, there we go. I swipe from the side and we have stuff. And I can hit the start button here and this takes us back to the tiles instead of giving us a start menu. Oh, Windows 8. Oh my gosh, guys, I found this Xbox app. We have our Xbox games. It can't connect to the servers right now. I wonder why. They're showing 360 logos. This is amazing. Also, I see that this thing has a camera. I guess that's your webcam. But there's also another camera on the back. Oh no. Here's the front camera. You know, for a Windows 8 tablet, I don't know what I expected, but it's not terrible. And here's the rear camera. How is it worse than the webcam? Gosh, that is really bad. What is this? What is SW update? I didn't install that. That's just on the laptop. Is that supposed to be there? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go ahead and just open that up. Enter the serial number. I don't want to do that. Get out of here. We also have this shortcut for settings. It's not loading anything. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's like a different settings thing than like your Windows settings. This is like a Samsung settings menu. They're installing bloatware on this thing. That's leave it to Samsung. Anyway, what else we got on here? We got the little file explorer thing. Oh baby, yeah, this is kind of nostalgic. Mostly looks the same to modern Windows. You just don't have any. You don't have any tabs. And of course, we have Internet Explorer on this. I love that. Does this still work? No, of course not. Absolutely not. All right, well, before I try to install some stuff on this so we can actually run some apps, I do want to see if I can find, here we go, our settings, and I want to see if this thing has any, like, system updates. Oh boy, I remember this. The settings app. You have to go to this, and this is where all your settings are hiding. This is the birth The terrible birth of the settings app in Windows 10 and 11. Here we go. Windows Update. What is this going to show? Never checked for updates. Yeah, let's give that a shot. Well, it's still searching for updates. One thing I wanted to go over real quick with this thing, though, is that this tablet's supposed to be refurbished, right? And I will say it's not in perfect condition, but it does look quite nice. I also found we actually do have a Samsung Galaxy S3, and like, guys, come on now. This is a match made in heaven. This is amazing. Still checking for updates. All right, well, I'll be back when this thing, I'm gonna try to get Steam and some other applications on this and see what this thing can handle. Oh, by the way, this thing's still going, but it's not like making a wait, it says right here. I was just about to trash talk it. We have 589 points. Oh my goodness, that might be the lowest score we've ever seen on this channel. No wonder this thing couldn't handle any games. That's rough. All right, guys, well, I pretty much let it sit on this screen for an entire day, and it has not shown anything or shown any signs of trying to update, so I don't think that's happening, unfortunately. Now, I was able to throw a little like Firefox installer and Steam installer on this USB drive, plug it into the top of the computer, and I don't know, we're just gonna try to install a different browser. Maybe that'll help. This version of Firefox requires Microsoft Windows 10 or newer. Well, never mind. How about Steam? Will this work? Oh, this seems to be working. All right, here we go. Here we go. We can play some games. How much storage do we have on this little thing? I'm assuming like 60 gigs. Ooh, even less. We have 51 gigs of total space. That's amazing. All right, Steam has finished installing. It is trying to run now. Work. You know, I was just thinking, like, how am I supposed to like find like the task manager on this thing? There's no start menu. I don't even remember how to do that on Windows 8. I guess I can try searching. Oh, there we go. That actually worked. Task manager. Steam is taking up 270 megabytes of memory, and somehow that's marked as a problem. How much RAM do we have on this thing? 2 gigabytes. 2 gigabytes of DDR2. Whoo! This thing is ancient. That's wild. What kind of CPU are we looking at? Oh, nice. Intel Atom CPU Z2760, 1.8 gigahertz. Is that almost the same type of CPU that was in this laptop? Hold on. Oh no, this one's got a Celeron. Okay. Although in terms of specs, it really is almost identical. In fact, wait a minute. Is this thing more powerful? 2 cores, 4 logical processors at 1.8 gigahertz. This one's only got 2 cores and 2 logical processors and 1.1 gigahertz. This thing is the more powerful CPU? What am I missing here? Oh, actually, it looks like it's turboing up to 2.7 gigahertz, so maybe this one is faster. I don't know. Also, while I was looking at this thing popped up. What is this? Steam is no longer supported on your operating system version. No! So let me get this straight. This is a refurbished tablet. They sold it for $50. You know, they imply it works, but you can't do anything. You can't use a web browser. There might be a web browser that still works with Windows 8. That sounds very risky, though. Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments what you think of the cheapest laptops we can get off of Newegg. Number 2! In the ancient time of 1982, this is what a laptop looked like. Heavy, impractical, and massive. But now, 43 years later, really? I was able to buy a laptop off of eBay that is probably smaller than your phone? How could that be possible? Let's open up the box and find out together. All right, sliding it out of its packaging, here it is. For comparison here, I have my 16-inch laptop. As you can see, it's a little smaller. I also have a Game Boy Advance SP, if you guys are familiar with what these feel and look like. Anyway, taking a closer look at this device, we got this sticker residue. I don't like that, but I guess that could come off pretty easily. There's no labels or logos or anything on the top of the machine here. That's really strange. Is this like an air intake? Is this like a speaker situation? I don't know. We got USB-C here for charging, a headphone jack, and a full-size USB 3.0 port, which is kind of impressive. On the bottom of the device, we got this. Maybe this is a speaker. I'm not sure. Maybe it's for ventilation. There's 4 little rubber feet, and it's a model GPD pocket. Let's go ahead and open the device up and take a look at how small it is. What in the world? Guys, the keyboard is the entire computer. What the heck? First thing you might see, no trackpad. You got like one of these little nubs that you move around to use the mouse. And shockingly, despite this computer's super tiny size, we have a number row and an F row. Excuse me? That's just kind of unnecessary with this device. And I'm noticing here the screen is actually really big for the device. Like the bezels are not large at all in comparison to how small this laptop is. I do see we have like a little bit of like, what is that? Is that crack? Is that like damage to like a protective layer or something? I'm not really sure. Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and turn it on, see if it has any charge. Oh, it's booting up. There's like a little fan in there I hear running. I guess that does confirm that this little situation down here is for ventilation. Also, This runs Windows? Uh-oh, OneDrive. Japanese. I can't read that. Oh, I started moving the mouse and the fan spooled up again. It's not a very bright screen. On camera, it looks decent, but there's no way you're using this thing outside. Is this a touchscreen? Oh my God, it is. Oh, baby. I can't get over that we're in Japanese right now. How can I not be in Japanese? Oh, guys, I figured it out. I had to restart the computer and everything, but we are in English. Also, can we just talk for a second about the fact that this already had Windows like pre-installed with that like weird Japanese variation of it? Like, I just assumed this is normal Windows 10, but it could be anything. I don't know what kind of spyware they're trying to run on this thing and steal all my data. First thing I want to see here is like, what kind of display is this? It looks really good, but I'm just not sure at first glance what resolution it is, and it says 1920 by 1200. So it's stretched out vertically a little bit. It's a 16 by 10 display, and it's 1080p basically. I wonder what it looks like if I go 100% scaling. Wow, that is unusable. I can't read any of that. I've also been using the touchscreen a lot, but I can try to use the little mouse nub here. Click with that button, okay. And looking at our storage, I immediately see that we have some storage taken up, probably by the operating system. I don't think there's anything really left on this machine, but you never know. 115 gigs of storage, that might be fine for a machine like this. It's not like large or anything. Another interesting thing I noticed about this keyboard that I didn't see earlier is that we have a delete key and a backspace key up here. Wouldn't these usually be flipped around? I also feel like this whole situation is gonna make it a little too easy to just like, boop, your power button. Next up, I think I wanna check our task manager here and see what kind of components we have installed. That felt really weird, by the way, the tiny shift and control. That's really strange. Looks like this has an Intel Atom X7Z8750 CPU at 1.60 gigahertz. It's a 4-core? It's more than what I expected. I did just notice something a little strange. Are you guys seeing that like weird little white dot right there? I think that might be a problem with the screen. That's like not my lighting setup or anything. It's just, yeah, it's always there. Pushing on the screen doesn't really do anything or make it go away. It's just it's like a screen hotspot. I think I didn't notice it before because in the background here, it just looks like it's part of the Galaxy. Anyway, looking at the other components in the PC, we have 8 gigs of DDR3. Seems fine for a laptop like this. And then we just straight up have Intel HD graphics. No other details about it. All right, let's go ahead and connect to Wi-Fi and see if this thing has any updates or anything. You gotta use Microsoft Edge. Gross. Oh, the fan kicked into another level. It's even more annoying now. All right, well, before I install Chrome, it seems like this thing wants to do a bunch of updates, so I'm gonna let it do its thing and come back when I have some goodies installed. All right, while I'm waiting on this thing to do updates, I actually took a look at the eBay listing where we bought this computer from, and honestly, there's not that much info about it. There's like some very nice photos. Look at these shots here. This guy clearly knows what he's doing with a camera, except he doesn't show all the sticker residue that's on the top of our laptop, so I don't know what kind of sketchiness he's trying to pull there. And then I scroll down to the description and there's basically nothing here. Tells me what the laptop is. There's a seller note here. Initialized, no problems with operation. There are some small scratches, but nothing noticeable. We think it is in good condition. Only main unit is included. Now hold on a minute, guys. They want to say it's good condition? Really? We got this big old crack in the screen. We got this weird white dot on the screen. And don't forget about the mystery goop on the front. What is going on with this listing? Seriously. Wait a minute. This can't even be the same machine. We have a red little touchpad thing. You see that in the photo? You look over here on this one. It's blue. Guys, I got this thing kind of updated enough to open the Windows Store because that was a thing that wasn't working earlier. But I just tried to like open it and search for an app I needed. I got this pop-up. I haven't added anything or changed anything. It just showed up looking like this. I mean, this straight up looks like something out of Windows 95, doesn't it? Okay, guys, I finally got Chrome to work. It was giving me all kinds of problems, but here it is. Try running an internet speed test on this thing, see what it can handle. I am connected to 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi, so I'm expecting something close to full speeds, but this is more like about 1/4 of our max speed we should be getting. Ooh, yeah, and the upload, that's more like a little over 1/10. So not ideal, but like, I don't know what I expect out of this thing. Either way, I have Cinebench installed now, so I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and we shall see how powerful this computer really is, huh? What is this? It's cut off already. That's not a good sign. Oh, we're finally up and running. Cinebench requires a CPU with AVX2 instruction support. We see this message come up on a lot of these cheap laptops. Not too surprising, it won't work, but whenever I see that pop up, it basically just means that this machine was probably not intended to be used for gaming. But we're gonna do it anyway, of course. I got Mega Man Legacy Collection pulled up here. This is, it's basically an NES game. It's a collection of NES games. If this doesn't run, you're not gonna be able to play anything on this laptop. Wait, what happened? It was loading for like a long time and now it just says play again. Did it crash? Oh, yeah, let's try again. There's no way we can't run NES games on this laptop, right? Right? Yeah, I don't know. Every time I click play, it tries to launch for like a second and then just turns green. Okay, I guess we can try to step it up a little bit. We can try Half-Life 1. Oh, we have upgraded to a black screen. We will take that. And we are actually launching. That's amazing. Okay guys, I am in game and I'm getting 50 FPS in a game from 1998. Also, using the keyboard to game, these keys are so small and I keep like I died accidentally, but I keep hitting the caps lock key. It's because it's like right next to the A key and the W is like a little too far to the left, so this is just, oh, it's so hard to use. The little mouse nub is pretty solid and in some ways is almost better than using a trackpad for a first-person game. I just cannot believe we are getting sub 60 FPS in this game. That is not a good sign. Let's try to run Elden Ring on it and see what happens. Oh, hold up, we got a crash, I think. Sure, we'll close the program and try one more time. We have upgraded to the white screen. Will we make it past this? Elden Ring has stopped working. I don't think it ever started working, so that's a lie. Well, perhaps unsurprisingly, this laptop is not made for gaming. I mean, I don't think that's what you're buying it for. Let me just like open up like a Word document and try to type a little bit. I'm actually just gonna use Notepad. This, oh God, keyboard is really strange to use. I keep clicking and I mean to hit the space bar, oh no. Ah! Anyway, let's go ahead and shut this thing off, open up the back, and see what the inside of this crazy tiny laptop looks like. All right, all I see on the back of this thing is like 6 little, very, very, very small screws. After I take these out, I imagine the back of the computer will just pop right off. And wow, we have like everything right here. This is the entire computer. It's actually like a fairly large battery, 7,000 milliamp hour, and it's like a huge chunk of the laptop. If anything, I don't know. It's nice to have a large battery, but the performance of the laptop is so bad, I actually think you could have like gone with a smaller one if it somehow meant you could get a little more performance out of this bad boy. But going over some of the components here, this is our heatsink. Underneath that is gonna be our APU, I imagine. Goes into this super, super tiny fan that was like kind of annoyingly loud. It's also a bit dusty. Don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that, but it's not exactly super clean in there. I also love that the battery is just clearly hot glued to the bottom. Why? Why do that? What is this? Like there's just like this sticker here. It's not easily coming off and I don't really want to break anything, so I think I'm just gonna leave it there, but I just don't know what that's for. Is it to like hold some pieces down so they don't move? Also, what is this piece? It's just like plastic. And I don't see any like ribbon cables coming out of it or anything. Is this just like a big old wasted space or is this for like structural support? Overall though, I mean, this really is just ridiculously small. I guess that should be obvious, but like this whole motherboard is like, let me find something for comparison. Here's a Game Boy Advance SP again. The motherboard is smaller than the body of a Game Boy Advance SP. That's so small. In fact, because this case is see-through, you can see the motherboard of the Game Boy and it's a little larger than this. So despite its performance problems I was having, and you can't use it for gaming or anything, it is fairly impressive that this is a full Windows laptop with a motherboard that is that ridiculously small. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Number 1!
So you want to get into PC gaming, but don't know how to use a screwdriver and can't spend $10,000 on a pre-built machine. Well, don't you worry. This plug-and-play PC right here can be purchased straight from Walmart for only $300. But not only does it have terrible reviews, I discovered some issues that are so suspicious that I'm not sure how the makers of this thing are still in business. But hey, it has RGBs. All right, opening the box up, we got a little inspection sheet. We'll look over that in a minute. All right, I got it out of the packaging. First of all, $300 PC, it's actually a bit larger than I thought it would be. I thought it'd be kind of a, small boy. What is this? Please read, we inspect and test every PC prior to shipping. And they have their phone number and whatever that will blur out. Oh, it opened. Cool. Ooh, that didn't really peel off very cleanly, but all right. Yeah, wait a minute. Uh-oh. I just locked myself out of the computer. This little pull tab is your only way to open the side, I guess. There we go, got it open again. Had to pry it open with a knife, but there, just slap that back on there, it's fine. They got this Inflato foam stuff to protect all the internal components. It's not coming out very easily though. There it goes. Wow, that is, for the size of the case we're looking at here, this is a much smaller motherboard situation than I was expecting. Now hold on a minute, guys. I wanted to know like what specs we're looking at here, so I have the inspection sheet and it goes over the components that are installed. I'm seeing an Intel Core i7-2600. That's a CPU from like 2012, I want to say. Along with a GTX 650. Guys, that would make this computer like less powerful than a PS4. Gaming PC this is supposed to be. What? We also have 500 gigabytes crossed out HDD with 1 terabyte right next to it. It's got a hard drive. Very good for gaming in 2025. Everyone knows it. Also, it's their own proprietary like power supply. It says Vipertech on there, which is the company who made this, as you can see here. It is kind of a good sign we're seeing all these like check marks and stuff. That means they probably tested stuff. Maybe the reviews, they're outdated, right? Maybe they fixed all those problems. Got a little bit of sticky finger residue there. It's like brown. Ew. Wait, guys. I found a few more things. We got this little sticker here. What does that even say? Do not connect monitor here. Connect monitor to graphics card. Okay, that's actually a good thing to note. Except how are you supposed to plug it into the graphics card? Dude, look at that HDMI cable. It's like half into the little case here. Well, I was gonna plug it in, but it didn't come with any cables. So I'll be back. I gotta procure things in order to set this thing up. What kind of PC doesn't come with a power cable? All right, guys, I have everything plugged in. Let's go ahead and turn on the PC. 3, 2, 1. Oh, that's a good sign. She's noisy. I don't see any video yet, though. Okay, guys, after a monitor change and getting some cables and crap set up, I actually have the computer on. We are on a desktop. You didn't miss anything. I turned the computer on, plugged in an HDMI cable, and this is what I saw. What is this? Turn on Windows Security Center. Why was it off? Now, first thing I want to do here now that we're on the desktop, I opened Edge and it took a really long time to open. Anyway, I want to set up Wi-Fi real quick, and I want to make sure that works, because I saw a bunch of reviews mention that the Wi-Fi doesn't function at all. Hey, can we just talk about the fact that PC turned on? Is it loud? Yeah. Does it kind of smell weird? Unfortunately, but it turns on. All right, now the first problem, there's no Wi-Fi networks. What? The listing very clearly says that this PC is supposed to have Wi-Fi, but yeah, it doesn't have Wi-Fi. Let me go get an Ethernet cable and I'll come back. Looks like we have internet now. Let's go ahead and test our internet speeds. Hey, we're loading up the speed test website here. There was one review that mentioned that this thing couldn't even handle opening a browser, so we must have gotten one of the good ones today. Oh my, we are still stuck at 0 megabits per second. Oh, there it goes. God, guys, looks like we're getting 90-ish down and up. We have gigabit internet here, right? So if I was seeing 500, 600, I'd be like, fine, good enough. That's literally 1/10 of max speed that our internet should be right now. I'm gonna go ahead and open up the task manager and we're gonna take a look at what components we got in here and see if it checks out with what we saw on that sheet of paper earlier. Oh, yep, I'm seeing an i7-2600 CPU at 3.4 gigahertz. Hey, at least it's a 4-core CPU, right? It could theoretically be worse. And actually, we're at 15% utilization here on the desktop. That's not as horrific as I would have thought, considering how slow the PC is right now. What seems to be happening is that our HDD is getting completely annihilated by something. Let's see here, what is happening? Windows modules installer. So it's some kind of like Windows nonsense happening in the background that is just eviscerating our performance on this PC right now. Do we have a terabyte though? Yeah, 932 gigabytes, there you go, that's something. Now, personally, I'd rather have like 100 gigs of SSD in 2025 than 1,000 gigs of a hard drive, but to each their own. Meanwhile, by the way, our 650, which still blows my mind, it's a GPU, isn't that GPU from like 2011? 2012, excuse me. Jeez, it's a 13-year-old GPU, that's crazy. Oh, there's GeForce Experience pre-installed, that's okay. I guess I can open up that and see if our drivers are up to date. By the way, in general, I find it super sketchy when PCs come in with pre-installed software and no setup process, because I have no idea what they do on this machine. And I'm not smart enough to know what's different compared to normal Windows. I guess I can at least look at like the apps that are pre-installed and, you know, whatever shows up in this menu here. That'll give us an idea of what's installed on this computer. We couldn't find anything to show here. No apps installed. You sure about that? Okay, Windows. Also, I opened GeForce Experience a long time ago at this point. It's been a few minutes and it's still not done anything. Oh, there it goes. We have the black screen. Something went wrong. Try rebooting your PC. All right, well, anyway, I guess I can download a Cinebench and run that and see what this PC can turn out in terms of a Cinebench score, right? My God, this computer is slow. It just takes forever to do anything. All right, well, we were able to run a speed test, but I'm going to the Cinebench download website and it's, wait, I have a pop-up here. Cookies. Necessary only, please. This computer cannot handle anything else. That's it. I'm just stuck on a black screen again. What? This is a real PC that you can buy from Walmart right now. You know, I do want to say, by the way, while we're having a bit of a negative software experience, the case, it's got lights. It's kind of cool looking. I like that it's white. Wait a minute. That reminds me, guys, the box says we're supposed to have a black PC. I'm not necessarily disappointed. I think the white's kind of cooler, but like, you can't even get that right, guys. Okay, well, it's taking 24 days in order to install Chrome, so I'm gonna install Cinebench and some games, and I'll be back in a few weeks.
3 weeks later.
It's been a little while and some things have happened, including this. I was like waiting on things to install, and at one point I just turn around and the PC blue screened. And it's not like that same 0% complete for like an hour. I just left it there doing its own thing after it blue screened. But yeah, it is up and running again, so it wasn't a permanent problem, but I don't know what happened. I think I maybe opened Chrome. Who knows? Either way, we got Cinebench open. Let's just start the multi-core test and see what happens. Wow, shockingly, that is running. I guess it will come back when it's done. What just happened? Oh, things got a little stuttery there for a second. Anyway, the test is almost done. I figured I'd open up open hardware monitor so we could take a look at our temperatures for the CPU. Overall, we're sitting a little under 80 degrees Celsius. It's not terrible. It's not like amazing, but it's fine, especially for running a CPU benchmark for past 10 minutes or so. PC is fairly loud, so if anything, could probably tone the noise down a little bit and be completely fine, but it is what it is. More notably, the GPU temperature is currently reporting 2 degrees Celsius. That's crazy cooling. Whoo! Got Antarctica up in here. That's wild. Also, why is this still going? It says 0 minutes left. Stop it. Oh, well, I guess stopping it stopped our little points thing. But looking down here, it seems like this is either a previous report from the same CPU, or maybe this is the score that it was going to get, essentially at 3,200 points, putting it at the very bottom of the selected CPUs that they're showing here. Very nice. Moving on, I got Cyberpunk launching now. We're gonna see how this runs for actual gaming performance on this gaming PC with a GTX 650. Well, I clicked play on Cyberpunk a long time ago, but nothing seems to be happening. I'll come back when something happens. Oh, wait, something's happening. The game is launching. Oh, baby. So far, all I'm seeing is black screen. This performance, man, unbelievable. Oh my God, it's launching. Ho, ho, ho. Guys, we have made it to the title screen. This is honestly farther than I thought we would get. I'm gonna preemptively just turn the settings real low. This is gonna be the hardest part of running the game on this PC. This loading screen is going to take a very long time based on its hard drive's performance. It's been like a minute at this point and the bar has not moved. I'll come back when it's done. Oh my God, we finally loaded. Yes, please press space to continue, please. Let me in there. Is the game frozen? No, please. We waited so long for this stupid game to load. I think it was seriously 10 minutes. Editor, put it on screen. Oh, black screen. What is black screen? What does this mean? I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna hit the Windows key. What? Wait, I see something in the upper left-hand corner. Is this a second round of loading? Oh, I see the UI, guys. I mean, if it's performing this poorly, I don't even understand how we're running the game. This is ridiculous. Guys, look at how slow this is. Oh my God. The UI is coming in like 1 frame at a time. This is worse than unplayable. This is worse than the PS4 performance of the game. Okay, I am moving my character. You can barely see in the upper right-hand corner, the map is moving. None of it is actually visible though. This is like if you tried to play Cyberpunk on a PlayStation 3. Gaming PC, guys, gaming PC. Anyway, guys, I think we've seen enough of the gaming on this computer. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the components and see what we actually have rocking inside this PC. Guys, I can't even get the PC to shut down. Turn it off. Oh, there it goes. Oh my God, it finally turned off. That actually took too many minutes. By the way, side note, the room stinks right now from this stupid PC. I think it's the power supply or something. It just smells like burnt electronics. All right, we're gonna start by getting the side panel open again. I'm actually just gonna take this thing off. There's a couple of things going on here I wanna point out, right? First thing of note, here's the hard drive that was causing all the problems for us, and here's a perfectly fine M.2 SSD slot that they could have thrown in like a 128 gig SSD in there for, I don't know, $5 and a throwing screen. How cheap can you get an SSD for these days? It doesn't matter if it's the jankiest SSD on earth. I feel like that is still better than this stupid hard drive. And guys, turns out it gets even worse. I discovered something about this hard drive. I took a closer look at it. I can't believe this. From the stickers and stuff you can see here, it's a Seagate, it's a 1 terabyte, blah, blah, blah. But there's this like other sticker on top of the sticker that's very interesting. Apparently Tech Redo gave this thing a grade A. It's a 3.5 SATA 3, 7200, 8200 hours? Guys, is this company selling used hard drives in their PCs? If there's one thing on a PC I do not ever want to be used, it is certainly the hard drive. Also, 8,200 hours comes out to like a whole year of the PC just being on all the time. So that's a lot of hours of usage for a hard drive. And now this has me wondering, is every component in this PC used? Now that I think about it, can you even get a 650 brand new anymore? I don't think so. And I'm pretty sure, just based on what I'm seeing connected to the motherboard, we may very well only have one system fan in this computer. This guy right here on the back of the case. I know what you're thinking. There's gotta be stuff in the front, right? Let's find out, because I don't think so. Ah, nice. There you go. There's the proof. There's no fans here. There's no nothing. So we have this giant case with no fans, no cooling. You pay $300 for this. You're getting nothing. Can you buy like a used digital-only PS5 for $300? Please go do that. I guess we can go ahead and also check the other side for cable management, and it's solid. There's lots of zip ties. Things are neatly arranged. I like that they plugged all this stuff up, so you know, it's all available to use in the future if you need it, but it's out of the way. Just sucks they had to use all these stupid, you know, mustard and ketchup cables, but I don't know. It's a cheap PC. But yeah, I guess this PC turned on. I'll take what I can get.
Bonus round.
PC gaming sure is amazing, isn't it? The freedom, the performance, the RGBs. And now with the help of Amazon Renewed, you too can be a glorious PC gamer for just $100. How bad could it be, right? All right, the PC is now out of the box, and I gotta say, this bad boy is a little bigger than I thought it would be. This is a $100 PC. I expected kind of like, you know, a little guy. We have this little Wi-Fi dongle. This is how you get Wi-Fi on this thing. It's $100. Okay, I guess that works. Then we got a little remote here. Is this for our RGBs? What is this? To my new mate, congrats, you just activated 1-year warranty force field. Does it say Warnati force field? I can't quite tell. Manufacturer warranty. Why does this look like I'm filling out a job application? I don't want to look at that anymore. It's very scary. This thing looks a lot like, I don't know, some kind of like server thing. I wouldn't think this is a gaming PC, but according to the listing, it's a gaming PC, complete with RGBs. Oh, and by the way, in case you missed it, this computer is renewed, or it's just refurbished, is what that means. And if I open this bad boy up, are we gonna see a bunch of dust and grime in there? You'll have to wait till later to find out. Anyway, back to the front of the PC, got lots of USB ports, headphones, and microphone jacks and all that. It looks very nice. Yo, you even get a DVD drive with this thing? That's sick. And let's see here, on the back, it's all very simple. You got your power port, a little tiny fan. You got 4 PCI slots, but they're all empty. These are like the shortened PCI slots. Bunch of USB. Look, we already have a Wi-Fi thing pre-installed. That means I got 2 of them. Ooh, value. There's also an Ethernet jack, VGA, that's awesome. There's also 2 DisplayPort. This thing doesn't have HDMI. So I mean, this thing is not capable of like the HD gaming on a gaming PC in 2025. We'll have to find out. In terms of condition, by the way, since this thing is supposed to be refurbished, it's totally fine. There's like some scuffs and scratches all along the front here, but it's really not too terrible. All right, guys, I got it all hooked up now. I'm just gonna go ahead and press the power button, see if it turns on. All I hear are fans. I didn't hear a hard drive spooling up, so I think we have an SSD in this bad boy. Will I see video though? All right, hold up, I figured it out. I swapped to the other DisplayPort thing, whatever. One of the pamphlets I saw said this thing might have Windows 10, it might have Windows 11. Yeah, I'm fairly confident this is Windows 10. Gaming PC in 2025 with Windows 10, they're shutting it down in October, right? So you just have the security risk you're gonna play games on every day. That doesn't sound like a good idea. Well, while we're waiting, I kinda wanna press the CD drive button, see if that does anything. Bam. Ooh, it shoots out. It's like a laptop CD drive. It's like real thin. PC is restarting. Okay. I am glad it had me go through some setup stuff, by the way. Most of the time when we get PCs on this channel, they just boot up straight into a desktop and it's like, you don't know what kind of crap they installed for you. Who's going to use this PC? Frank. That's Frank, by the way, if you didn't know. Why is my mouse not working anymore? Ooh, the mouse has the RGBs. Wait a minute, that reminds me. Where are my RGBs? This looks like a boring office computer right now. Come on now, this is supposed to be a gaming PC, right? I guess I can try out the remote. Let's turn it on. Oh, baby! That's so many RGBs. Ooh, look at the way it's like reflecting off the table. That actually looks really nice. Ooh, and while we were messing around with the colors, we got our desktop all set up. Browse the web. This thing has turned into a jet engine already. That's not a good sign. We haven't done anything. Anyway, browse the web with the performing browser. No, get out of here. First problem I see here is it looks like this PC's like in like 1440p or 4K. We're getting performance problems already. Look at how bad this is. What is happening? Like we talked about earlier, I'm not even sure this PC is capable of HD gaming, and we're at over 4K. Yeah, that's too high. Where did my mouse go? Oh my. Wait, why is it grayed out now? Why can I not change my resolution? What is happening? I can't quite see that. Does that say our refresh rate is 64 hertz? Why? Okay, it's spooling up again. Nothing is happening. Let me open Task Manager and let's just take a look at what's going on with this PC. All right, we got an AMD Pro A8 8650B R7. Let me look that up real quick. All right, I found the CPU on Tech Power Up. Scroll down a little bit. Looks like it was released in 2015. This is a decade-old CPU. Not as bad as the $300 PC from Walmart. It's a GPU. Isn't that GPU from like 2011? 2012, excuse me. Jeez. As you can see, we are doing literally nothing and the CPU is completely maxed out. Very cool. Hey, surprisingly enough, we have an SSD in this machine and you know, for a slow PC, it's really not as horrible as you would imagine. Wait, there's no GPU here. I don't see, there's not even like an integrated graphics showing up. Huh? How are we getting video output if we don't have a GPU? Okay, for some reason, it still will not let me change the display resolution. Let me just restart the PC and see what happens. Okay, good. After a restart, I can now change the resolution down to 1080p. So much better. Why is our refresh rate 24 hertz though? That's probably why this thing feels so sluggish. Hold on. What is 60 hertz at 1080p too far? I have a black screen now. Bro, what? What is even happening? Somehow I made it worse. We are now at 1 hertz, a singular frame per second. All right, let me see if I can find some drivers for this thing, because clearly it needs them. Wait, what is this? This PC doesn't currently meet the minimum system requirements to run Windows 11. So even if I wanted to install Windows 11, you can't on this machine. Wow. Did I mention yet that you really should throw Linux on this thing? Oh my God. We got a real bad PC here, guys, today. I don't even have words. Oh, that also doesn't help. Windows Update is eating up 27% of our CPU. Anyway, while we're waiting on that, I did notice some other things going on here. How do we have VLC pre-installed? Where did that come from? I don't know, let me take a look. Do we have anything else installed that's strange? DTS audio control, what is that? This probably has to do with like whatever sound stuff we got installed in this PC, so I guess that's fine. I'll let that one go.
Much later.
Okay guys, I'm back. I've been struggling with this computer for like 20 years, installing drivers, they're not working. This computer's completely borked. You spend $100 on this thing, you know, you give it to like a little kid, try to figure it out. They're never gonna be able to get this thing working. Regardless, I do have some games installed. We'll start with Half-Life here. Not sure if this is a little too graphically intensive or not for this PC, but let's go ahead and give it a shot. All right, guys, somehow we are in the game. It is running at like 60 FPS. Incredible. I did, by the way, manage to get the screen to 1080p. It took so much messing around. It took me like a solid half hour to get this screen to actually function properly. I do see we're dropping some frames. This is a game from 1998. Anyway, let's try out a more intense game next. We're gonna upgrade to the 2004-ish era with Psychonauts. See how this goes. Oh, guys, it's changed to stop. Oh, and it's gone, it closed. Okay, not powerful enough for Psychonauts. All right, let's try Quake 2 RTX. That has to work, right? We got a gaming PC. It has to have the ray tracing. No ray tracing capable GPU found. Well, that's a shock. So yeah, our gaming PC, you're limited to like pre-2000s era games apparently. So yeah, don't recommend for gaming. I do want to see if this thing can do a benchmark real quick though. So let's go ahead and do a multi-core CPU test on the Cinebench. Most of the time when we get these really cheap PCs, they just like crash instantly or just give me an error as soon as I open that says like, you can't do this on the CPU. But shockingly, it looks like this is working. Look at that, it is loading frames, incredible. It's also getting really toasty. Hold on, I was gonna save this for later, but let me go ahead and pop this like panel off the PC and we can take a closer look at what's going on in there as it's spooling up for the benchmark here. All right guys, I managed to get that panel off. As you can see, this is a super plain looking PC. We got our SSD over here. CPU/GPU is under this situation here. I will also say, as soon as I took the panel off, the PC is not nearly as loud. So I wonder if this is choking off some of the air. Let me just test this theory by putting this back on real quick. Oh yeah, that's definitely getting louder over time. So I feel like this panel is a bit of a problem. Also, in case it wasn't obvious, this is so clearly just like a random office computer that they turned into a gaming machine. Wait a minute, there's only 1 stick of RAM in here. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that, but that's just the 1 stick right there. How much RAM do we even have in this thing? Ooh, 8 whole gigabytes. Yeah, that's plenty for 2025. DDR3, by the way. Oh, and in case you were curious, the SSD, it's a 500 gig SSD. That's not bad. $100, I'll take it. Now, I figured I could go ahead and swing around here to the other side so we could take a closer look at the RGB situation. And it's a little tough to tell what's going on in there, so maybe I'll have to take this front panel off and then we can see some LED strips. But I can see this thing. It looks like this is our controller for the RGBs. Actually, I see fan 6, fan 7 written on there. Is this just for fans? Oh, nope, you can see right there it says LED strip 1 and 2. So yeah, it's both at the same time, fans and LEDs. Okay guys, I managed to get that front panel off, and if you can't tell from the face cam, they are so bright. These LEDs are crazy. But sure enough, as you can see, it's just like standard LED strips glued to the grating here. That's just very professional work. And then the wires for that just kind of run all the way through here until they hit this controller right here. All right, looks like our test has been running long enough to give us like a little score. It's not showing me a number yet. I think it's got to finish whatever test it's doing, but we'll just call it here. You can see it's clearly bottom of the list. Anyway, let's just close out of that. There is one more thing I want to test with this PC. I got this bad boy connected through Ethernet right now because the download speeds were like crazy slow through Steam over that little Wi-Fi thing that it came with. But I have this PC connected back to Wi-Fi, so let's just do a quick speed test here and just see what kind of situation we're looking at over 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi. You know, that's a little better than I would have thought. 46 megabit per second down. Steam was showing like 30, so keep in mind we do have gigabit internet here, so it's a little lower than 1,000 megabits per second like you would expect. And guys, I got a little surprised. I got one more thing to test on this computer. You didn't think I forgot about the disk drive, did you? Let's go and see if we can watch some Austin Powers on this bad boy. It's even got VLC pre-installed. They thought of everything over at the Amazon, didn't they? And there it is, it's loading right up. Apparently if I show you any more of this, I could face 5 years in prison and a $250,000 fine. Well, let's go ahead and close out of that before I get in trouble. So guys, that was a $100 refurbished PC from Amazon, gaming edition. I will say, it's pretty clean in there, so if that's what they mean by refurbished, then mission accomplished. Well guys, unfortunately that's the last PC video I have to show you today, but if you want more content, be sure to click right here, check out the box. Because if you like those videos, I'm pretty confident you'll love that series.